finally collide here at AKA 44 as Ashy Bashy is about to clear the commission checkdown spot and make her way toward the cage for this strawweight fight. And look, we got 10 fights tonight. We've got 2 titles on the line. And Matt, we are capping tonight off with something brand new, something very special, a bare knuckle boxing matchup for the first time in AKA history.
And now entering the cage, Miss Ashley Maziol. And now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for her opponent. Please welcome to the cage, Rachel Rogers.
Next up, we have Rachel Rogers. She'll be representing the compound out of Shreveport, Louisiana. She is a kickboxer, and she stands in 5'4", 115 pounds, out of Hallsville, Texas. And Rachel Rogers, this will be our third look at Rachel. We've seen her a couple of times, and Matt, she's looked very good in her first 2 showings. Had a round 1 finish against Gabby Castro in her debut, and then she got the decision victory July of last year over Chrissy Richards, and she'll be back in there today looking to move to 3-0. And Rachel Rogers has looked very good in her first 2 fights, Matt.
Absolutely, she's looked complete from top to bottom. Good jab, good diverse skill set, a good understanding of her range and distance. I have been very impressed with her kickboxing prowess. Now we turn her loose in MMA, put all the skill sets together, see how it looks in the MMA cage. So very excited about this matchup, looking forward to it. This was one of the first fights that came together on this card. It stuck all the way through. These girls are ready to go.
Yeah, excited to see these 2 ladies get a chance to match up with one another, especially after they were supposed to fight a few months ago, but it will happen here today. Rachel Rogers back inside the AKA cage, while Ashley Maziol will be stepping in for the first time as we are set to kick off AKA 44 from the beautiful Paragon Casino and Resort here in Marksville, Louisiana. This has kind of become one of the homes for AKA, and what a great place for fights, Matt.
It really is a great place. Feels like home at this point. It certainly does.
Here we go, fight fans. 3 rounds of amateur mixed martial arts section inside the AKA strawweight division. This fight is being brought to you by ELD. And now, introducing your first fighter, fighting out of the Bayou Raps blue corner. This woman is a wrestler representing global martial arts. She stands 5 feet 1 inches tall, weighing in at 115 pounds. Fighting out of Tomball, Texas, here is Ashy Bashy Ashley Maziol. And now, introducing her opponent, fighting out of the EMD red corner. This woman is a kickboxer representing the compound of Shreveport. She stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 115 pounds. Fighting out of Hallsville, Texas, here is Rachel Your referee in charge of the action when the cage door closes will be Mr. Josh Lee.
Josh Lee ready for his first assignment of the night here at AKA 44, and we are officially underway with another AKA card.
Both ladies opening up with a nice sharp jab. Low kicks coming from Maziol.
You know, the one thing we saw with Rachel's first 2 fights, she was able to get to all of her weapons, but that was in kickboxing. I'm curious to see if Ashley Maziol will try and take her down at some point and test her ground game.
Maziol looking like a striker thus far. I know she has a wrestling background, but nothing but strikes. Both girls trying to range find a little bit, gauging their distance.
Trading some inside leg kicks.
Big right hand from Rachel Rogers, finds its mark.
Beautiful stuff right over the top and fires right back once again, does Rogers.
Maziol closes the distance, has a little bit of a wizard trip there, front headlock position.
She's got this headlock kind of tight too, Matt.
He's got an arm in there as well. It'd be a difficult choke to finish here.
Picking her up off the ground and slams her down. What a moment for Ashley Maziol here in the early going.
This is tight.
Well, this is where you worry about Rachel Rogers, obviously with that kickboxing background, so good on the feet, but she's in some uncharted territory right now against Ashy Bashy.
Didn't do a bad job here of scooting back to the fence, but I would like to see her. Oh, tap. Wow. And just like that. A bit anticlimactic, but Ashy Bashy Maziol seals up the head and arm choke. Gets the dub.
Well, she felt the big right hand from Rachel Rogers, and she immediately decided that she wanted to try and get this thing to the ground. Went for a trip, didn't get the trip, locked up that front headlock, and then ultimately was able to get the finish in. Really strong work by Maziol early on, Matt.
Beautiful. I mean, and she locked it up, and she was just so confident, stuck with it, and gets the tap. Beautiful stuff. What a wonderful start to Ashley Maziol's career here.
And can we talk about the fact that she just picked her up in the front headlock and slammed her down? I mean, that was not only showing the technique, but some strength as well from Ashley Maziol, and a great showing. She picks up her first win, and Dynamite stepping into the cage for your result.
Stone cold.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee has called a stoppage to the action at 1 minute 27 seconds in round number 1, declaring a winner via the blue corner, Ashley Maziol.
There's some smiles from Ashley Maziol. She was all business up until that moment, and she takes care of business in the first round. Gets the submission victory about halfway through round number 1. So we're off and running here at AKA 44. One fight, one finish. That's something the fans love to see. Shout out to our AKA ring girls here today in Marksville.
I think Ashley can take her time. Fight went pretty quick.
Yeah, we may have a little extra time on our hands here tonight, but everybody is excited for this main event tonight. David Bosnick and Michael Murphy, so do not go anywhere. We've got an incredible fight to cap off this card here tonight at AKA 44.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are off and running here at AKA 44. One fight down, many more to come. So hey, lock in, strap in, grab a hold of something and hang on, because it's going to be a wild ride all night long here at American Combat Alliance. And now, moving right along with your next bout of the evening. This fight goes down inside the AKA middleweight division, a catchweight of 175 pounds. At this time, please welcome your first fighter to the cage. Put your hands together for Pierce Bolano.
Pierce Bolano makes his return to the AKA cage. Pierce is a complete fighter representing the Triad Martial Arts Academy of Ruston, Louisiana, where he hails from over there in Rusttown. Pierce will check in at 6 foot tall, 175 pounds. He enters with a 1-0 record, and he picks up that win via Kimura back in October of last year, and that was a very impressive Kimura against David Frank. He actually locked that up from the bottom. Really good stuff, Matt. This is an exciting prospect.
Definitely an exciting prospect, a good-looking kid. Took this fight on about 4 days' notice. I've been looking at Pierce Bolano's name for like 3 to 4 weeks straight. Was unable to get him matched. Byron Walker steps up to the plate and takes it on 4 days' notice. Really looking forward to this one. I think both guys well-rounded. Pierce Bolano, we got to see him finish a Kimura from the bottom in his last appearance, and I think we'll see him just continue that momentum tonight and hopefully showcase a little more of his skill set. Byron, to me, more of a striker, so I'd like to see a couple exchanges here in this fight.
Yeah, Bolano looked good early in that fight, landed some strikes, dealt with the bombs from Frank, and then once he got it to the ground, he was actually on the bottom and locked up that Kimura and got his first victory inside the cage. He'll be looking to move to 2-0 tonight.
And now, let's welcome his opponent to the cage. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Byron Walker.
Bolano's looking to move to 2-0, and so is Byron Walker. Byron Walker 1-0 as an amateur as well. He picked up a win back at AKA 42 over Nathan Pena. That was back in November of last year, so both guys have some time inside the AKA cage, and they're going to be looking for win number 2, and neither one of these guys are scared of it, Matt. You take a fight on 4 days' notice, you know you're ready for war.
Yeah, these guys are fighters, and to be perfectly honest, I think that's exactly how it should be, especially in this stage of their careers. If you're an amateur guy and you're not in the gym grinding all the time, like, are you even trying to do this? I'm very grateful that these guys were able to fill in and take this fight on short notice. But at the same time, I think that's what you should do. I think you should be ripping and ready to get in here and challenge yourself a little bit. Evenly matched fight. I believe both guys have a good chance in this one. In the past, I've seen Byron as more of a striker. He's had quite a bit of time outside of the cage to improve in all areas. Pierce Bolano the same way. Both guys train with good gyms, respectively, but between Performance Evolution and the Triad Martial Arts guy in Ruston, Louisiana. I think just as much as anything, this is a matchup of the gyms, and let's see who's able to have the better performance tonight.
We're certainly excited to see these two go toe-to-toe. Byron Walker has cleared the commission check-down spot and made his way into the cage for this matchup between two undefeated amateurs.
Here we go, fight fans. 3 rounds of mixed martial arts section inside the AKA middleweight division, a catchweight of 175 pounds. This fight's being brought to you by our good friends at Bentley's Automotive. And now, introducing your first fighter, fighting in the Bayou Raps blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist representing the Triad Martial Arts Academy. He stands 6 feet even, weighing in at 175 pounds. Fighting out of Ruston, Louisiana, here is Pierce Bolano. And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the EMD red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist representing the Performance Evolution Fight Team. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 175 pounds. Fighting out of Lake Charles, Louisiana, here is Byron Walker. Your referee in charge of the action when the cage door closes will be Mr. Maziol Bam Bam Machu.
Somebody's about to catch their first L. Walker and Bolano, fight number 2.
Little subtle feint from Byron Walker to get it started.
Good kick to the body from Bolano. And we really didn't get a chance to see Bolano's full bag in his first fight since he finished it so quick.
Both guys with solid sets, got their hands in good position, good solid stance underneath them. Looping left hook misses its mark.
Bolano with a bit of that maybe karate style stance.
Definitely trying to keep his distance and his range. You can tell he's a sniper trying to set up those straight shots.
Fires the left leg. Nothing really to show for it. Bolano looking over the top of the big right hand.
Little left hook kind of swipes Bolano behind the ear as he enters. Both guys nice and relaxed. For it being only each of their second fight, they look like they've been here a time or two. Nice calf kick finds its mark.
Yeah, great kick there from Walker, but now he's going to eat some shots from Bolano in return. Bolano chasing him down.
Walker doing a good job of keeping his stance, and even though some of those punches got through, he's got a good solid base. Took him well. Big looping right hand.
Good knee to the body from Bolano.
A little bit of a level change there from Byron Walker. Looked like he thought about a takedown there for a second.
Definitely thought about it, then thought better of it. Did not want to go to the ground with Bolano. That could be something they've talked about. We've already seen the ground game from Bolano once.
Byron Walker scores a nice, solid left leg. Byron doing a good job switching stances, creating different angles. Bolano sticking to his stance.
He had a great job from Walker so far of staying out of range of those big right hands from Bolano as well.
The PE corner asking for an active lead hand from Byron Walker. Pierce Bolano getting busy here against the fence, knees up the middle.
Well, that was good work from Bolano. Landed the body kick, followed it up with a left hand, and then Walker shelled up on him.
Walker poked in a little hook there to the body, and his corner seems to think that it hurt Bolano. I would have to disagree.
Oh, that's the third big body shot that Walker's taken in the last minute. Now Bolano looking for a finish potentially. Those are some big shots.
Bolano doing a good job of getting busy, but not jamming himself up too much.
Walker eats another one to the body. Those are starting to add up here in round number 1.
Cross to the body of his own from Byron Walker.
Final 10 seconds of the opening round. Pretty exciting first round from these two. Both guys getting a little bit going. I would say definitely in favor of Bolano. Those body shots are what stood out to me in that first round match.
Yeah, the body shots definitely found their mark, but I think even more than that, just it would seem like Byron would just lose his balance, look away a little hard, and that type of stuff gets the attention of the judges. That's why it's important to have that poker face and keep that stance nice and strong. Shots can get through, but when they change the trajectory of your body, it gets everybody's attention. So I would have to agree. I mean, it was a pretty even round. Maybe that body shot did get in there.
There was a few body shots exchanged in that round on either side. Those are the big shots that really stood out to me. I mean, that's a vicious knee.
And I would say the only mistake that Byron's making is he's just moving his head too far off, and when he gets clipped, it's, again, like changing his body motion, changing the trajectory, getting everybody's attention.
I would add that I don't think he can get up against the cage too often in this fight because Bolano looks like he wants to tee off.
He likes it there.
Yep. Round number 2.
Low kick from Bolano.
Lead hand.
The Walker corner calling for that lead hand.
Ooh-wee.
Wow.
Little pirouette to a body kick.
Some creativity from Walker here in the early stage of round 2.
Calf kick finds its mark.
Go back.
Like that right hand might have found its mark there in the end of that exchange.
I think you called it. These knees to the body from Bolano are really paying dividends.
The middle of that last round, he stuck him with the toes right in the middle of the gut, and I thought it really hurt him, and this was starting to add up. Now Walker ends up on top.
How about a level change from Byron Walker straight into half guard? He's doing a good job of keeping some decent shoulder pressure on Pierce Bolano. Byron doing the right thing, keeping Pierce flat on his back. You don't want Pierce to start to get on that hip so he can work an underhook.
You do have to be careful with Bolano. Even from the bottom, he has submissions. He's clearly comfortable here, but I'm curious to see what kind of ground game Walker has in store for him.
A minute 30 left.
I mean, that's just a little too easy, honestly.
Nice and easy, just rolls him over. Now he's in half guard on top.
Not a spot that you want Bolano to be.
Byron needs his underhook on his half guard side. And Pierce Bolano says, hey, why don't you just stand up?
He's going to be looking for yeah, here come those knees once again.
Go back. Sit down on that left hook.
Walker's got to get out of this corner.
Left hook finds its mark.
Great left hook.
You're right. Yes.
Going to punch his way out of there. That'll get the attention of Pierce Bolano.
The antidote to this, that knee right up the middle as Byron changes levels, kind of runs into a knee. The antidote to the clinch for Byron would just to be fix his posture. When he's bent over at the waist, he's just giving him that surface area to find, those knees right up the middle to the body. If he would just bring his hips in a little bit, he could negate that.
Really good lead left from Byron Walker, one of the best shots he's landed so far. There's a right hand over the top.
A big right hand finds its mark. Byron leaking from the nose just a little.
Yeah, Byron got busted up, but he's landed the bigger shots here at the end of round number 2.
Jab. Put something in his face, Byron.
Bolano looking for that jab.
This right here is
just what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's not the spot to be in. And again, just the posture being bent at the waist and kind of bringing his head down. It's giving that surface area to just bring those knees right up into the body. We just fixed our posture, straightened up. Those knees just wouldn't find their mark as effectively. Not to say they wouldn't still do damage, but
maybe not the most promising body language from Byron Walker at the end of that one. He was hunched over as soon as the round ended, and you got to wonder if those body shots, those big knees to the midsection haven't added up. I mean, there's Bolano. When he gets him trapped in the corner, man, he is looking for the kill. That was a great moment from Byron, right?
That's right.
Was up against the cage, taking some big shots, gets the takedown, ends up on top.
Just being savvy, too. Bolano just a little bit overcommitted, trying to poke those knees in. Loses his balance, loses his base. Byron Walker able to run him over. Good action from both guys, though.
Shout out to our man Sam back there producing, directing today. Luke Hawkins is, I think he said maybe in Indiana or something. So we got Sam running the show today. Big thank you to Sam for everything that he does here at AKA. So 2 rounds in the book. You would assume Bolano ahead 2-0 here. We'll see what Walker has in store for this 3rd round.
Again, just ducking his head off a little too far. I don't mind some head movement, but we need punches to miss just barely. Overcommit to that duck, run into something harder than it's even thrown at us. Pierce Bolano scores a quick takedown, moves right into half guard.
Savvy stuff from Bolano.
Little body action.
Walker in a very compromised position right now. He doesn't look to be too keen on getting up.
That was just bad. He kind of kicked off, and then Pierce Bolano returns straight to mount. Now he's in an S mount position. This is going to be a little more difficult for Byron to escape, especially because he's jammed up on the fence.
I could see a finish possibly happening here, Matt. This is
just the optics.
Yeah,
and that's it.
And that's the right call. There was nothing being offered up from Byron Walker in return. And Pierce Bolano, for the 2nd time in as many fights, has a finish inside the AKA cage. First fight, round 1. Second fight, round 3. This time, he gets the TKO finish. Impressive stuff from Bolano. From start to finish, this was really his fight.
Absolutely. Just again showcasing a full skill set and understanding of striking from distance and understanding of striking in the clinch. Savvy on the ground, ends up in a bad position, sweeps from half guard, gets back on top. Beautiful stuff by Pierce Bolano.
And a good win for the Triad Martial Arts Academy of Ruston, Louisiana. Obviously, we've seen Triad displayed at the AKA events many times. So Dynamite will have your results.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee has called a stoppage to the action at 1 minute in the 3rd and final round. Declaring your winner, fighting in the blue corner, Pierce Bolano.
Just really good, solid work there from Pierce Bolano. Did everything right, never was in a compromising position, took his time, it didn't rush anything too much. Very savvy there at the end. He smelled blood, he got the finish. Kudos to Pierce Bolano for moving to 2-0. Byron Walker falls to 1-1. We'll see him back here soon, though. Next up, we'll be moving forward to a lightweight bout between Ronald Anderson and Shane Ferrier.
All right, so how we doing out here, folks? We just getting started. How we doing over here on this side? Y'all having a good time? That was all right. Now we got some fight fans over here. What about this side? How you doing? Man, you ain't gonna let them people clown you like that, right? On the count of 3, let's raise a little hell. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I don't really like them that much, y'all my favorites, so give it to me one more time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. enough to do over here, but we got all night long. So here we go, moving right along with your next bout of the evening. This fight goes down inside the lightweight division, a catchweight of 150 pounds. At this time, please welcome your first fighter to the cage. Here is Ronald Anderson III.
Ronald Anderson III, a freestyle fighter representing War Training Center. He is fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, and he checked in at 5'8", 150 pounds, and ready to make his debut here tonight at AKA 44 is Ronald Anderson III. Tell us a little bit more about Ronald now.
Yeah, Ronald Anderson hit me up looking for a fight, wanted to fight at 45. We really didn't have anything that could shake loose for him at 45, so he took the matchup at 150. Shane Ferrier, who's fought at 45 before, was wanting to move up, so able to make it happen, and these guys met in the middle. Really looking forward to this one. Ronald Anderson, a kid from a solid background that has a good family dynamic back home. I've been told he trains very hard, is very committed to the grind, and I'm looking forward to seeing it pay off for him tonight.
Well, this will be our first look at one of the fighters from the War Training Center. Oh, excuse me, always good to have some new gyms here at AKA. And that's one of the things you've been trying to do, right? Get some new gyms, get some new faces, some fresh fighters out there.
That's right. You know, Ronald's got Coach Copley in his corner. Coach Copley, I run practices with him. He helps me out as well. I'm very high on these guys. These guys are War. They've actually been in the AKA cage before. It's just been a while, and they kind of lost contact with us, and now we're doing our best to bring them back in the fold. But a very exciting gym. Another thing I'm big on is working with gyms, quality gyms, guys that I trust and know are going to bring fighters who are serious, and Ronald Anderson no different.
Well, Ronald Anderson III certainly looks the part. He is a specimen for sure, standing in at 5'8" and a solid 150. He is about to cross the commission check-down spot and make his way into the cage for the first time.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, show your love for his opponent. Here is Shane Ferrier.
Shane Showtime Ferrier makes his return to the AKA cage for the first time in nearly 3 years. Wow. He picked up a win over Jackson Ryber back in July of 2022, and that was
It was a banger.
Yeah,
I remember it well. Yeah, Shane Ferrier, Showtime. His nickname precedes him. This young man comes in and he brings it, throws big punches, and I think that's the exact thing he needs to do here against Ronald Anderson. He needs to come in and try to take it to him. Ronald, a guy that probably has a pretty well-rounded skill set. What do you do with the guys that are good? You try to take it to him, and I think this is a good opportunity for Shane Ferrier to come out in front of his hometown crowd and show him what he's made of.
Showtime is a freestyle fighter as well, representing Hackney Fitness. He checked in at 5'10", 150 pounds out of Montgomery, Louisiana, and he'll have Calvin Hackney in his corner for his second fight as an amateur. And you're right, that first fight of his back in 2022, we were on the call for that one as well, and it went the distance, was a really good showing by Showtime, and he'll be looking to build on that. I can't really say you have momentum when it's been that long.
Sure.
We're trying to pick that momentum back up.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, Showtime, big right hands, looping ones that could find their mark, and floored young Jackson Ryber a time or two, if I remember correctly, and I just, love guys like this.
Here we go, fight fans. 3 rounds of mixed martial arts action inside the AKA lightweight division. This is a catchweight of 150 pounds. This fight is being brought to you by 97.7 The Cajun. And now, introducing your first fighter, fighting into the UF's blue corner. This man is a freestyle fighter representing the War Training Center. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in 150 pounds. fighting out of San Antonio, Texas. Here is Ronald Anderson III. And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the EMD red corner. This man is a freestyle fighter representing Hackney Fitness. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 150 pounds. Fighting out of Montgomery, Louisiana. Here is showtime! Ferrier! Your referee in charge of the action when the cage door closes, Mr. Chris Hill.
Chris Hill with the assignment for Anderson and Ferrier. We're underway with fight number 3.
Good high hand position from Anderson. Opens up with a nice low kick. Shane Ferrier, little head feint. Trying to find that right leg of his own.
Bit of a feeling out process here in the early going. Anderson looking down low with that kick.
I like Anderson's set. I like Ferrier's set. He looks like he's in a good, solid position, trying to let something go. Had some wild feints there to begin. Big looping right hand, misses its mark. Big right leg finds its mark.
Yeah, but a nice return right hand from Anderson as well. You can see with Anderson, he's really looking to counter. Anytime Ferrier comes forward, that's when Anderson looks like he wants to let it fly.
It has been 3 years since we've seen Ferrier, but I got to say, it looks like he's been working. He looks better than the last time I saw him.
He looks really solid in his stance. He was a little, all over the place with his stance last time, yeah.
Sending him, but just not well balanced. He's much more balanced this time out. Big uppercut, but a beautiful level change from Ronald Anderson. Moves
right into half guard here.
Right into half guard, and Shane really not offering up much of a half guard at all.
Let's see if he can get that leg out of there and move into side control. Nope. He'll take the back instead.
Shane trying to get that boot out. Rolls back to his back into the half guard position. Overhook on Ronald's head. Ronald doing a good job of keeping his posture.
1 minute remaining in this first round. The takedown here by Anderson III really has been the big moment so far. Hasn't done much with it yet, but he does have control.
Shane Ferrier needs an underhook if he's going to get himself up from this position.
You can hear the corner of Calvin Hackney saying, use that underhook and get back to your feet, but he gets back to his feet without it. And right back down as Anderson pulls him back to the canvas.
That's because he didn't have the underhook.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that's why the corner's telling him to get it and ultimately loses the position and ends up back
Shane
down.
just being strong, kind of just, defied gravity there and stood straight up. Ronald doing a good job of keeping solid pressure on him.
Let's see if Anderson can find some damage here at the end of round number 1. A couple of shots for the judges to keep in mind. Not a whole lot in that first round. The first minute was kind of that feeling out process. There was a nice body kick from Ferrier that landed, maybe a right hand over the top by Anderson, but the takedown certainly the big moment. Didn't do a lot with it, but did have about a minute and a half of control time.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, pretty clear cut who won that round, but Ferrier competitive, doing well. I also want to mention the last time we saw Shane fight, in between rounds, he was gasping for air, and he looks no worse for the wear tonight.
Looks to be in good shape, looks ready for tonight. He's just got a very game opponent across from him in Ronald Anderson III. And let's talk about Anderson's first round. It's your debut. Obviously, there's the nerves, the jitters, all of that. Maybe he started a little bit slow, but he implemented his game plan.
Absolutely. Found his moment, found the takedown, was able to control and hold the position, and that's how you got to do it. You know, not every fight is going to light it up. Sometimes you just have to go out there and get it done. 10-9 round for Ronald Anderson.
Yeah, one in the bag for Anderson. Let's see what Ferrier and his corner have come up with for round number 2. Anderson looks very willing to grapple.
Catches the kick, wants to find a takedown, gets his hands together under the butt of Shane Ferrier and scores right back in to this half guard position. Once again, Shane Ferrier has to fight for that underhook. That's the only way he's going to get up. If he stays in this spot, he's just staying here to take a whipping.
Anderson trying to hand out that whipping. Ferrier doing a good job of defending so far.
Much better. Well, had it, gave it up.
Anderson trying to move over into full mount.
I think at this point Anderson has recognized that he has a grappling advantage, and he wants to keep it here, stay comfortable.
Well, if you have the advantage, you might as well take advantage of it, and that's exactly what Anderson is doing right now. Hasn't offered up a whole lot of offense from the top, but Ferrier's doing a good job defensively. Nearing the halfway point of round number 2, still a minute 30, minute 40 to work here for Anderson from the top.
Anderson passes easily right into the mount position.
Let's see if he can posture up and drop some bombs.
Gives up his back to Ferrier. Looks like Ron's fishing for the choke, trying to get double underhooks and flatten Shane out.
There it is, he's flattened him out. Got those hooks in.
Had him flat for a second. Shane was able to return, but now we're flat again. This is a bad spot.
Ferrier in a very compromising position. Anderson starting to add some shots on. Now looking for the choke. Ferrier fighting the hands. Feel like he might have got his hands together on him though. Nope. It's across the chin.
Looks like it is across the chin.
Still doesn't feel good though. Anderson's going to slip it underneath and get the victory. Great finish for Ronald Anderson III, and he's got some words for Shane Ferrier at the end of that. But what a showing from Ronald Anderson III, representing San Antonio, Texas, and he picks up the victory via submission in round number 2 in his debut. What a good showing. Matt realized that he had the advantage on the ground, got the takedown, took advantage of it, and gets the finish.
Yeah, and honestly, Shane not doing a terrible job, just lost track of the hands, allowed Ronald to cinch in the choke and get the fight-ending sequence going. Had the hand position started punching from having his back taken, and, you know, just a tactical error.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee has called a stoppage to the action at 2 minutes, 10 seconds in round number 2, declaring the winner, Ronald Anderson III.
Good sportsmanship at the end of that one from Ferrier and Anderson.
You can see Ronald kind of wanted to play the bad guy a little bit. He kind of telling everybody to hush up, and all good, baby. That's why we do it.
I think I don't know if it was maybe the booing beforehand or if Ferrier had some words from him, but there was a little bit of animosity there for sure. But good sportsmanship in the end. Both fighters handled themselves admirably.
We in a fist fight at the end of the day. It can get a little chippy.
Hell yeah, I love that. It makes it a little bit more exciting for the fans too, as long as it's not a little bit too much. 3 fights in the book, 3 finishes as well. We are cruising at AKA 44, and we'll turn it back over to Dynamite.
All right, fight fans, here we go, moving right along with your next bout of the evening. This fight goes down inside the AKA Bantamweight division and is brought to you by our friends at Mammoth Coolers. And now, please welcome your first fighter to the cage. Put your hands together for Patrick Tran.
Ready now for Patrick Tran. Tran 1-2 as an amateur. He'll be representing USA Fight Company and Thug Jitsu University. He checks in at 5'6", 135 pounds, and he is out of Matt Snell's neck of the woods right now, Houston, Texas. Tell us a little bit more about Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick Bolo Tran, a kid that trains over at Thug U with us, also has a great coach over at USA Fight Co. This kid's the total package, physical, works hard, has a decent skill set, working on his grappling. I believe he comes from a bit of a wrestling background, but can really throw the hands around, has no problem getting dirty and getting aggressive, and a kid who gives me rounds on a weekly basis, somebody that I think quite a bit about. And a 1-2 record to me is kind of wild to see from this young man, but his opponent is much the same, and that's why I thought that this was such an intriguing matchup.
Well, it started out 0-2 for Bolo Tran, but he picked up a submission victory in his last fight, which was at AKA 37 over
Grant
Grant Forrest. Yeah, back at June of 2024. So it's been a while since he's been back in there, but that gives you time to work on it, and clearly, you know, they've been putting in the work down there.
Absolutely, been working on his skill set as a full, overall, and like I said, this kid works hard. He's always in the gym. Hard worker, solid prospect. Looking forward to this one.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for his opponent. Please welcome to the cage, Antonio Hernandez.
Next up is Antonio the Guardian Hernandez, a young man who's 1-2 and could easily be 3-0, to be honest with you. He's had some very close fights. We'll talk more about those in just a minute, but he's representing Revive MMA and Jiu-Jitsu, checking in at 5'6", 135, the exact same size as Patrick Tran, and he'll be representing Fighter, Texas. Big knockout victory in his first fight, knocked out Carlos Janae. Got submitted via guillotine in a fight that he was absolutely winning against Steven Juarez. And then, Matt, it was the exact same thing for him in a different promotion. Was winning the fight against Nick Gamillion, and then ultimately got submitted in that one late as well. He just made two mistakes, really. That's what it comes down to. Hernandez has looked good in there, but he's made two mistakes, and those mistakes have led to losses.
Absolutely, and that's what's so intriguing about fighting. That's why we stay tuned and watch these fights until the end, is because things like that can happen. Antonio Hernandez, obviously a bright, talented kid. He's had some amazing moments, a semi-viral knockout over Carlos Janae, which was a beautiful, beautiful fight. And even before that, had some great exchanges with Carlos and ultimately was able to score the huge knockout. But I couldn't agree with you more as far as how he's been in control of these fights and just let him slip away. And to me, that only speaks to just a small lapse in our concentration. These amateur fights are very short, three-minute rounds. We got to stay locked in for 9 minutes straight. And I believe if Antonio can smooth that part of his game out, we're looking at a kid that can be a future star. But right now we're looking at two guys with 1-2 records.
Yeah, the sky does feel like the limit for Antonio Hernandez, but he'll be looking to get back in the win column here tonight against Patrick Tran.
Here we go, fight fans. 3 rounds of mixed martial arts action inside the AKA Bantamweight division. This fight is being brought to you by Mammoth Coolers. And now, introducing your first fighter, fighting out of the Bayou Ref's blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist representing the USA Fight Company and Thug Jitsu University. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, here is Patrick Bolano. And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the EMD red corner. This man is a a mixed martial artist representing World 5 MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Fighter, Texas, here is Antonio the Guardian Hernandez.
Hernandez and Tran ready to cap off our prelims. Our first 3 fights have all finished via decision. Finish. That's my mistake.
Opposite day.
Yeah, opposite day. 4th fight of the night underway now.
Big right left from Bolo finds its mark. Both guys kind of trying to feel each other out.
Well, they've both got power. We know Hernandez has that huge right hand, something Tran will have to be careful with, but early on here looks good for Tran.
Double underhooks here from Bolo, doing a good job with his head positioning, keeping Antonio glued to the fence. Good pressure.
How do you deal with this if you're Hernandez?
You got to pummel. You have to get an underhook. Nice knee trips Antonio up for a second. Big looping right hand, misses its mark. Inside low kick from Hernandez.
Exciting first 30 seconds here if you're Tran. See what Hernandez has to offer up in defense.
You can just see the speed from Antonio Hernandez. Even when he whiffs on these punches, they're fast.
Now he's got incredible speed, great power behind it too. There's a nice left hand.
It's like both guys kind of traded one there.
Yeah, they did. Some wild exchange right there. And that's where Hernandez is comfortable though. He will get into the wild exchange with you.
Nice level change there from Antonio Hernandez. Scores. Bolo using his butterflies, trying to create a little space here. Has an overhook on Antonio's right arm.
About halfway through this first round, Hernandez trying to get into side control.
Kind of an interesting exchange there. Antonio rushes it a little bit, tries to jump the back, and is able to secure both hooks.
Yeah, really good call from the corner there. Great job by Hernandez to listen. Now he's got the body triangle cinched up. He's got about a minute to work.
Let's see if Bolo's been working his back escapes. Body triangle cinched up.
Hernandez trying to drop some bombs from the bottom. Now looking for the chin. Hey, it's across the chin, looking for the neck, I should say. It's getting tighter. It's getting tighter. There it is. Antonio Hernandez back in the win column. And this time he does it via submission in round number 1.
And honestly there, Bolo was doing a decent job kind of trying to turn into the choke, but Hernandez able to readjust, cinch it up, and get the finish. Got to feel good for Antonio Hernandez.
Yeah, it does, especially for a guy that's been submitted his last couple times out. We've seen the hands, we've seen the power, the speed from Hernandez. That was a great takedown. That was a great back take right there as well. Good job listening to the corner.
Yep.
And then he, had it across the chin, slipped it under, and gets the finish. Great showing by Antonio Hernandez, a very bright star. And he's just so strong once he gets you down there, too.
Absolutely. And honestly, great back take, did so much so well there, and even finished the choke, didn't have gravity on his side, was kind of on the opposite side, maybe not, by the books exactly, but when you're strong, when you're capable, sometimes all you got to do is get yourself in a position and squeeze, and it got it done tonight.
Indeed, it did get it done tonight. Antonio Hernandez, a winner once again, and we'll turn it back over to Dynamite.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee has called a stoppage to the action at 2 minutes 37 seconds in round number 1, declaring your winner, fighting out of the red corner, Antonio Hernandez.
So a great showing from Antonio Hernandez to cap off our prelims. We're going to be stepping away here with an intermission. When we come back, we've got our undercard, which is capped off by an amateur bantamweight championship fight between Colton McElhaney and Brandon Taylor.
Now, folks, we've got some very special people in the building that I'd like to recognize at this time. Now, folks, sitting cage side right now, we have your Louisiana Racing Commissioner in charge of all the thoroughbred racing across the entire state. He is also the CEO of Allegiance Health Management, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bordalon. He's accompanied by his lovely wife, Christy. We've also got here with us, ladies and gentlemen, he is the chairman of the board of directors here at AKA, also the CEO of EMD, Mr. Joseph Maziol. Also, two more of our fantastic board of directors members here with AKA. We have Mr. Scott Prouty. Scott is the VP of Allegiance Health Management. And also, Lafayette's very own Mr. Tim Metcalf. Also in attendance with us here, ladies and gentlemen, we have Louisiana State Senator, Miss Heather Cloud. And we want each and every one of you to know that Allegiance Mobile Health is your local provider team. Keep the name EMD and Allegiance Mobile Health. And also with us here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, representing the McNeese State Cowboys, or Cowgirls, we've got the volleyball team from McNeese State, all the way from Lake Charles. They're here hanging and banging with us all night long. Stand up and give us a wave, ladies. Or not, stay in the damn seat. There you go. All right, so folks, at this time, we're gonna take a quick pause for the calls. So step outside, smoke them if you got them. Grab yourself an ice cold liquid libation to ease your frustration. And we're coming back with more here at American Combat Alliance. Judges and officials, back to your places now. I need all referees, judges and officials, back to your places now.
I'm sorry, Benfund. I'm going to need to leave. I kept going. I said that to her. She's really bad. She's really bad. Oh, my God, she's bad. Oh, my God, she's bad.
Gentlemen, it's time to get back to business here at AKA 44. Up next, we got 30 rounds inside the welterweight division. At this time, please welcome your first fighter to the cage. Put your hands together for Jared Grimes.
Back to the action for this welterweight bout between Jared Grimes and Travis Bordalon. Jared Grimes will be representing Fight Time Fitness out of Sherman, Texas. He checks in at 6 feet tall, 170 pounds. He is technically a debutante as far as MMA is concerned. We did have Jared in a fight back in February of last year when he fought Glenn Norman Jr. in a kickboxing matchup. He fell to Norman in the second round of that one. So we'll see what Jared Grimes has in store as far as MMA is concerned. Norman, very strong, very quick, had the advantage in that fight. But this is MMA. This isn't kickboxing, Matt.
Yeah, this is a different fight, and we've had a little time since the last time we saw Jared Grimes come out, and hopefully he's been working on his skill set, got his feet underneath him a little bit better. I think sometimes that stuff is just time on task, you know. These guys, you watch them in the gym, you think they're solid, you really never know until you put them out there, and every once in a while it just doesn't go to plan, but I've seen guys make vast improvements in short amounts of time. It's been a while since we've last seen Jared Grimes in here, and I'm hoping for the best.
Grimes and his Fight Time Fitness squad will be looking for the best here today as well. Grimes has cleared the commission check down spot. Chris Hill doing the honors this time around. And Grimes headed into the cage for his first ever MMA fight.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for his opponent. Please welcome to the cage, Travis Bordalon.
Travis Bordalon, or Matt Purdy, Brock Purdy, as Matt Schnell called him earlier. He's Alexandria's Brock Purdy, but he is a freestyle fighter. He'll be representing Global Fitness Center, and he checks in at 5'7", 170 pounds. This will be our first look at Travis Bordalon, Matt.
He does vaguely resemble Brock Purdy. To be honest, I told him that earlier, so he shouldn't be upset at me about it, but
hey, there's a lot worse people to be compared to.
That's
out there,
right.
you know?
He's no Mr. Irrelevant, though. He's got a good crowd here with him tonight, big family. A bunch of people come out to watch him fight. And got a tall task in front of him here with Jared Grimes, literally much taller than my guy, Travis Bordalon or Brock Purdy. But Travis looking good, looking fit. I know he's ready to come out and put on a show for his people.
I got a feeling Travis Bordalon can beat Brock Purdy's ass, though. I
Probably.
do feel like that.
Probably in a fist fight.
Yeah,
Maybe not in a throwing competition.
Yeah. But, you know, Brock Purdy's actually a great story. Mr. Irrelevant, a guy that everybody had written off, nobody really cared about. Is about to get a big-time payday in the NFL, and that's really something that these guys that have got off to a slow start can they can take that into their own life and
Absolutely.
try and build a career for themselves, even
Absolutely.
when everybody else is doubting them.
Listen, how much better of a story is there in football ever than being Mr. Irrelevant and then becoming a starting quarterback in the league, about to get a big payday. Once again, Travis Bordalon, not a bad guy to resemble. Let's go, Brock Purdy.
Looking forward to this one between Grimes and Bordalon. Bordalon has cleared the commission check down spot, and we are ready to get our undercard underway.
Fight fans, 3 rounds of mixed martial arts action inside the AKA Welterweight division. This fight is being brought to you by the Paragon Casino. And now, introducing your first fighter, fighting out of the UF's blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist representing Fight Time Fitness. He stands 6 feet even, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Sherman, Texas, here is Jared Grimes. And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the EMD red corner. This man is a freestyle fighter, representing the Global Fitness Academy. He stands 5'7" tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Alexandria, Louisiana, here is Travis Bordalon.
Big pop from the crowd here at the Paragon for Travis Bordalon. Of course, Alexandria about 30 minutes away from here, 25 or so. And we are back to the action here with Bordalon and Grimes. Grimes looking for that early teep kick.
Grimes closing the distance quickly. Travis Bordalon chunking the Chingasos. Got him hurt, and he's out on his feet. Beautiful finish by Travis Bordalon. Do not call that man Brock Purdy. That's Travis Bordalon, everybody.
That is Travis Bordalon, and that is big right hands from Travis Bordalon as he finishes this fight quickly in round number 1. Grimes didn't like it. Some people will say it's an early stoppage. He ate 2 huge right hands, and there was one that looked to me like it was going to put him out. He came back quickly, but
he was definitely frozen in time there for a second. And, you know, you got to give it to Jordan Grimes. Of course, he wants to come out and go out on his shield, but it is these referees' job to keep these amateur guys safe. These guys aren't getting paid. I don't want to see either of them get locked up out there, so I think a beautiful stoppage.
You know, look, that's the thing about...
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee has called a stoppage to the action at 15 seconds in round number 1. Declaring the winner from the corner, Travis Bordalon.
Quick work, easy work for Travis Bordalon. Smelled blood in the water, and he got the kill. 5 fights, 5 finishes. Are you not entertained?
I am indeed. Let's keep it rocking, baby. Might be heading home early tonight. Who knows?
We might be heading home early. That'll give a lot of people here at the Paragon Casino time to head out to Club Mazaz, and they can have a good time here at the Paragon Casino, go win some money in the slots. Or hopefully, you know, I guess the Paragon's hoping they don't win money, but that's one of the beautiful
Definitely
things.
don't go lose money. Go win money.
Great spot for us to have these fights, though, at the beautiful Paragon Casino and Resort. And the fans on hand are certainly getting their money's worth. 5 fights, 5 finishes. We are rolling right along here at AKA 44.
Somebody gotta do it, got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn his TV off, 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 turn his TV off. Ain't no other king in this rap thing makes siblings. Nothing for my children, one shot to disappearing. I'm in the city with a flag to get it going like it was pass interference, padlock around the
Dynamite showing off the dance moves there in the middle of the cage. Best dancing announcer in the game, no doubt about it.
Easily.
Out there, Paragon, you guys having a good time? Whoa, 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 turn the lights on, pull the music down. What in the blue hell was that? We are in Sinla, baby. We in the boot, Louisiana. I know we got more juice than that. So here's what I need. On the count of 3, I want every man, woman, and child, top to bottom, left to right, all the way around. We're gonna blow the roof off of this place. You with me? I want to hear you all on the count of 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Now that's what I'm talking about. We're going to get up on the good foot and do the bad thing one more time right now. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, 3 rounds inside the featherweight division. At this time, please welcome your first fighter to the cage. Here is Brock Sanders.
Back to the action now. It'll be Brock Sanders next to make his way to the cage. A kickboxer by nature, also has some jiu-jitsu in his bag. He's representing Crone Gracie Jiu-Jitsu out of Winfield, Louisiana. And Brock Sanders checks in at 6'1", 146 pounds. He's got a 76-inch reach, and he will have a big reach advantage in this fight against Owen Elkins. Sanders enters 2-2, and he's got one really big win on his card. Picked up a win over Dorian Jones, a guy that we've had here at AKA. That was his second victory to move to 2-0. Dropped one in the last fight that he had back in October of 2024 at AKA 41. He lost a close decision to Luis Waldo in what was a very competitive fight, and he'll be looking to get back above 500 here today.
Absolutely, get back above 500. Big fan of this guy, Brock Sanders. Luis Waldo, that was a banger of a fight. Both guys really brought it, and Brock had some good moments. He is a very long, tall, rangy guy, a Jesse Butler protege, a Cron Gracie descendant, a guy who's going to come out with a lot of pride and try and get it done tonight, get himself over the hump, beat that 500 record.
I see what you did there. A lot of pride for Brock Sanders as he has cleared the commission check down spot and made his way into the cage as he awaits Owen Elkins.
Quite somber, very.
And now, Paragon Casino. Put your hands together for his opponent. Here is Owen Elkins.
Owen the Silverback Elkins, representing Hackney Fitness out of Tioga, Louisiana. 5'8", 146 pounds. We saw a moment ago that he has a 68-inch reach. And Owen Elkins coming off a win against Hunter Runyon back at AKA 39 in July of last year.
Fight of the night.
Yeah, that's right.
Another banger. This is a matchup I've had in mind to be a really good one. Huge fan myself of Owen Elkins, a young man who, through his martial arts journey, has lost upwards of 70 pounds and come all the way down, and now here he is fighting at featherweight and well built. I mean, look at his physique. I saw him at weigh-ins and I was just like, young man, been putting in the time, been putting in the work. Obviously a little bit of an upside down record here, but a kid who I think quite a bit of. And this was one of those matchups that I had circled from the onset. I knew that this was going to be a good one as soon as it came together, and I'm very excited to see how it plays out. Owen Elkins, all heart, all gas, no brakes, type of guy that will move forward even when he's hurt, knows how to fight, knows how to position himself. Really looking forward to a good matchup here.
The first time that we had Elkins was back in March of 2024, and the work that he's done on his body in the last year is insanely impressive. That's when you know a guy is committed to the game, and that man is Owen Elkins. He's now going to go toe-to-toe with Brock Sanders.
Here we go, fight fans. 3 rounds of mixed martial arts action inside the AKA Featherweight division. This fight's being brought to you by Bayou Wraps. And now, introducing your first fighter. Fighting out of Bayou Wraps' blue corner. This man is a kickboxer who is well-versed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He is representing Cron Gracie, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He stands 6 feet 1 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Winfield, Louisiana, here is Brock Sanders. And now, introducing his opponent. Fighting out of the EMD red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist representing Hackney Fitness. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in 146 pounds. Fighting out of Tioga, Louisiana. Here is the Silverback Owen Elkins.
The crowd at the Paragon is alive for Owen Elkins. Let's see what the Paragon favorite can do up against Brock Sanders. 5 fights so far, 5 finishes. You can see immediately the difference in height and reach. Elkins gets inside and looking for a takedown.
Good takedown defense from Brock Landry early on. Peeks his head out, looks to be trying to get his head around and finish a double leg of his own. Solid takedown defense there from Owen Elkins. Good sprawl position.
Now he's got a hold of that neck.
He does, but it looks like Brock's got his elbow out. I'm not sure if this is going to be one that Owen can finish.
No, not going to be able to finish that one. Good job by Sanders to deal with the submission attempt.
I just love the story of Owen Elkins, a kid, you know, just watching martial arts work for somebody. This stuff can be life-changing if you commit to the grind and really sell yourself to it. And Owen Elkins, just such a great example. Brock Sanders with the nice little score there, but not for long.
No, not for long at all. It was good, relentless pressure by Sanders that forced the takedown, but Elkins dealt with it easily. And Sanders going to end up on top and into half guard. God, he's so long in comparison.
Length, I mean, I couldn't have called where that position was going to end up. It was just such an awkward exchange there. But Brock Sanders, against all odds, ends up on top, and he's in a pretty good position.
He's got just under 90 seconds to work here from the top. Calvin Hackney calling for a sweep. And instead, it's going to be Sanders who moved over into mount momentarily.
Brock doing a good job of just being patient here, taking his position. Looks like he's going to try and posture up and cause some damage.
Elkins trying to buck him off.
Elkins doing the right thing here, trying to keep the posture of Brock broken down, but Brock just so long.
So long, and he's in a great position now. 45 seconds to work on top.
He goes after the arm.
Grabs
This
the
could
arm.
be troublesome here.
We might
Gotta
have
be
another
careful.
finish. He's got that. Oh, Elkins fighting.
Tap.
That's it. Another finish, another first round finish. Brock Sanders via armbar over Owen Elkins. Matt, it is the night of finishes here at AKA 44. Brock Sanders with the latest, and that was one of the best ones that we've seen yet. Great stuff from Sanders. Really showed a good ground game.
Just being patient, biding his time, allowing Owen Elkins to make a mistake. Owen just gets a little extended there. Brock Sanders takes the arm home with him. Beautiful stuff, beautiful finish. Brock Sanders got to feel good about this.
Savvy stuff from Brock Sanders. Elkins was trying to get out of that position, grab the arm.
Yeah, Owen doing the
locked it
right
up.
thing too, trying to just keep things moving, and just got cinched up there. The length of Brock.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee has called a stoppage to the action at 2 minutes 26 seconds in round number 1. Declaring your winner, back in the blue corner, Brock Sanders.
Get your head down. The party at the party, put your his nose down. And Baka got a weird case where I see.
So Brock Sanders via armbar in round number 1 over Owen Elkins. Great showing there for Brock Sanders. Dealt with the early problems of Elkins, got a takedown. And Elkins, look, he had a great sprawl early on. You know, he did a good job, but in the end, the length and the skill of Brock Sanders a little bit too much.
Agreed.
So 6 fights are in the books, and we turn now to our amateur bantamweight championship. Colton McElhaney, Brandon Taylor. It's time now to decide who's going to take home the gold here at AKA 44.
If this isn't a banger, I'm a monkey's uncle.
Here we go, fight fans, moving right along with your next bout of the evening. This fight goes down inside the AKA welterweight division. At this time, please welcome your first fighter to the cage. Put your hands together for Trey Smith.
Excuse me, that's my fault. I forgot that we flipped these. That's on me. That is 100% on me. So we will have Colton McElhaney and Brandon Taylor coming up next. All right, let's kind of lay out what happened here originally. We were supposed to have Agore Benfund and Ruben Alanis for the Amateur Welterweight Championship. Alanis not able to make the fight here tonight, and this young man has stepped in instead. It's Trey Smith. He was literally just in the building. Yet, what was it, yesterday that this all came
Stuck
together?
his hand in the air and said, "I'll do it." Yeah, what a stud.
That earns you some serious props from everyone in the fight game. Man is game himself. Let's tell you a little bit more about Trey Smith. He's a freestyle fighter representing Performance Evolution out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. He stands in at 5'8", 170 pounds, and he's got a 68-inch reach, but he's going to certainly be at a reach disadvantage against the lengthy Agore Benfund. That'll be something to keep
From what I
in
understand,
mind.
Trey Smith, a very savvy grappler, a guy who kind of saw. And listen, Agore, you go and watch this guy's fights. Like, there's not many people who are like, yeah, I'll fight this guy. He throws bombs. And for Trey to just step in and say, listen, I think I can come in here and get it done, debuting the day of What a stud. I mean, I can't say enough about Trey Smith. I can't say enough about Performance Evolution and the guys, the type of guys that they produce, their coaching staff, everything in between. So happy that this one came together because it was looking pretty bleak there for Agore, who worked so hard, prepared to come into this fight and win a title, and you know, for whatever reason, it wasn't able to happen.
What a moment here for Trey Smith as he's set to make his debut against Agore of Benfund, and doing it on very short
This will be a
notice.
story for his grandchildren one day. My man.
Yes, it will.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent to the cage. Put your hands together for Agore of Benfund.
Here comes Agore of Benfund, one of the more exciting fighters on the AKA roster. He's 2-0 in mixed martial arts, 1-0 in kickboxing. We had him back for the first time at AKA 34. Got the finish in the second round of that one. Decision victory at AKA 39. He's coming off a knockout victory over Billy Graves about 6 months ago. And today he's back into the cage once again at AKA 44. Agore of Benfund, he is a thug striker representing Global Fitness Center out of Alexandria, Louisiana, by way of Cameroon. He stands in at 6 feet tall, 170 pounds, and he's gonna have a, 10-inch reach in this fight. So he's gonna certainly have an advantage there. And Matt, this is a guy that every time we've seen him fight, he's looked good, and he has been an exciting fighter to watch.
Absolutely an exciting fighter, and also a guy who has gotten a lot of praise from Coach Alan Gray, which, to be honest, is difficult to come by. Coach Alan Gray, pretty honest about his guys, and he told me about Agore. This kid is a fighter. If you need to, you put anybody you want to in here with him, and I promise you, he's going to scrap. High praise from Alan Gray. I think the world of Alan and his crew, and I'm looking forward to seeing Agore do his thing tonight. Once again, shout out to Trey Smith for stepping in. And you never know what's going to happen. Fighting is so interesting and compelling in that way. So though we're sitting here and Agore is a scary man, there is no doubt. Trey Smith came here to take him out, and we're going to see how we deal with it.
Well, the thing is, you know, both of these gyms are going to have their guys ready to go. Trey Smith representing Performance Evolution. As you mentioned a moment ago, Agore Benfund representing Global Fitness Center, and Alan Gray. Two great gyms about to go toe-to-toe here at AKA 44.
Here we go, fight fans. 3 rounds of mixed martial arts action inside the AKA Welterweight division. This fight is being brought to you by EMD. And now, introducing your first fighter, fighting in the Bayou Ramps blue corner. This man is a freestyle fighter representing the Performance Evolution Fight Team. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Lake Charles, Louisiana, here is Trey Smith. And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the EMD red corner. This man is a thug striker representing the Global Fitness Academy. He stands 6 feet even, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Alexandria, Louisiana, by way of Maziol, Cameroon. Here is the great Agore of Benfund.
Big pop for Agore of Benfund as well. We are ready to go. We got 6 fights in the book. All 6 have been finishes, and I can promise you this one's going to have some fireworks.
Double jab cross from Agore. Jabs and cross found their mark. 100% on strikes thus far.
I just don't know that anybody at this weight class is going to be taller or longer than the Benfund is. We'll see how Smith deals with that.
Beautiful level change by Trey Smith. Gets his hands together for a second. Agore doing a good job of pummeling inside. Finds his clinch. Finds a couple of nice knees up the middle.
Yeah, Smith landed a good one of his own, and then Agore threw back 2 for good measure. Looking for the question mark kick.
Came close.
No answer. Switching to southpaw is Agore. On a left from Smith.
All Smith needs is just to gain a little confidence. He needs a little momentum, and I feel that he'll get going.
Well, excuse me. You said he's got a wrestling background. That may be a spot that he wants to take this fight, because we have not really seen Agore, have to deal with any ground game to this point in his career.
Big naked low kick there, misses its mark, but man, it had some thump on it.
I think he may have gotten poked in the eye to the Benfund. I can see him kind of shutting that left eye. I don't know if it was a fist or a poke. See that link of Agore looking for the uppercut.
And it came close, but Trey Smith finds a punch of his own.
Strong kick from the Benfund. Once again attacking that lead leg. Halfway through round number 1. Watch out for that.
Benfund stabbing the kick to the body. Trey Smith looking for the sweeping overhand right.
And looking for that big right hand, able to connect. Inside, 1 minute to go in round number 1.
Ooh, my goodness, that head kick came close. I would like to see Trey get his hands in a little bit better of a position.
Smith switches to southpaw. See how long he stays there. Those kicks from the Benfund are incredibly dangerous.
Trey Smith just showing some level changes, trying to get AG to bite on something.
When we saw Benfund in that kickboxing match, it was his kicks that really stood out. I mean, the hands were there as well, but the kicks looked incredible.
Just thumping him. You can see he's got a lot of weight behind those legs.
Starting to string the kicks and the punches together as well. Final 10 seconds of the opening round. And it looks like we're gonna have a staring contest for the final 10. And indeed we will. Good first round from Agore Benfund, but a good round from Trey Smith as well. Look, he got thrown into the fire. Thrown into the fire, first fight, short notice. I think he handled things pretty well in that first round, Matt.
Absolutely, definitely looks like he's ready to fight a fight, not gasping for air. The pace of the fight wasn't anything insane, so I certainly didn't anticipate that they would be too tired after that one, but good stuff from Trey Smith. And again, I just have to mention, like, this kid just said, I'll do it, on the same day of weigh-ins. And much respect, much appreciation to Trey Smith. And he's out here doing his best. Even in that exchange, you saw him sweep in a little left hook of his own and it find its mark. He's definitely here to compete.
Look, he didn't just take any fight on short notice. He took Agore Benfund on short notice, who we had scheduled to fight for a title tonight. So it tells you how much we think of Benfund here at AKA, everything that he's shown us so far. So this is a real tall task, both figuratively and literally, for Trey Smith. Let's see what we have in store for round number 2.
A little thump on that glove tap.
I wouldn't hate to see Smith change levels once again at some point in this round, try and get a takedown.
I think that's his route to victory. He wants to close the gap and grapple with Agore.
I think it could be the one area that he would have an advantage. It's something I'd like to see from Smith here in this second round. Benfund with a hard kick. You can see Smith's got some bombs on him. He's been unable to connect with any of them, though. Again, attacking that lead leg as a Benfund.
That's a good weapon for a Benfund as well. I mean, Trey Smith obviously taking this fight on short notice, but he's beat by that. He's kind of beat by alignment with that low kick. He's just so bladed. It gives Agore an opportunity to turn that kick over, and Trey just not in a position to check it. ate a kick to the head right there, leaking from the nose a little bit.
Yeah, he did catch that one right on the nose. Probably the biggest shot landed so far in this fight.
Little slip and rip from Trey Smith.
There's a jab from Benfund, and he's so long. That jab really needs to be one of his weapons, right? When you've got that kind of reach advantage.
Exactly. Stab it, feint it, send it. Oh, jab found his mark and sits Trey Smith down. Now we're in a grappling match.
Benfund rolls him over, moves into half guard. Curious to see how this transpires on the ground. 1 minute to work from the top for Benfund.
Big punches here from Agore.
He's kind of bullying Smith for the moment. Smith doing a good job. Get back to the feet. Benfund pulling him right back down.
A little bit of a fence grab there, but it didn't stop the takedown. Benfund trying to get the back position, loses the spot, ends up in mount.
For a brief second, now he's got the back once again. Smith trying to hold on for dear life here. He's got to survive the final 20 seconds of round number 2.
Big punch.
Yeah, it's a big shot.
Trey's got to get his forehead off the mat. It's never a good sign to rest your head on the mat. It gives you really nowhere to go. Those are big punches. I think Trey's hurt. That's it.
That is indeed it. Agore Benfund continues our streak of finishes here at AKA 44. 7 fights, 7 finishes, and the latest one belongs to Agore Benfund. Well, I was curious to see how he would be on the ground, Matt, and I'll tell you what, every single one of those scrambles, he ended up back on top, and then at the end, doing damage.
Looked good to me, checked all the boxes, kept himself in a good position, really didn't toil in Trey Smith's guard.
Now, folks, I want to give you a little context to this fight. Originally, Agore was scheduled to take on a fighter by the name of Ruben Allardyce. Ruben had a medical issue, could not make the fight. This young man, Trey Smith, just happened to ride with one of his training partners to come watch the show. At the weigh-ins yesterday, he said, hey man, I'll fight him. This is his first time ever in the cage. So a big round of applause for that man stepping up last minute. Ladies and gentlemen, our referee has called a stoppage to the action at 2 minutes 55 seconds in round number 2, declaring your winner, fighting in the red corner, Agore Benfund.
It's probably not the moment that Agore Benfund envisioned earlier this week, but it's a win nonetheless. He moves to 3-0 now as an amateur, 4-0 in combat sports, and he has picked up another big win, this time over Trey Smith, who deserves 100 rounds of applause for stepping up, putting himself in this situation, and doing a great job, to be honest with you. That is a hell of a problem to deal with in Agore Benfund.
Now, talking about the club, we all gonna hit the after party after the big main event, right? We're gonna go to Club Mizaz and have a good time. So come on out and have a beer with old Dynamite. We might get down on the dance floor. Make sure you join us at the after party. Now, speaking of after parties, I've been looking around all night long, and I can see some of you ladies is ready to cut loose. Now look, this is a family show, so you gotta hold it in till we get to the after party. But ladies, I'm gonna give you one chance. I'm gonna give you one chance right now to go ahead and get it out your system and drop it a little bit. Hell, fellas, you can drop it if you got it too. DJ MP3, let's get these ladies something they can drop it too. Oh, don't drop it too hard on them, ladies. Don't drop it too hard on them. Ladies, hell, that man dropping some dumping on right there. folks? Yeah, what the hell, you know, whatever. All right, but here we go. We're gonna take another intermission right now, so make sure you go out there and grab yourself an ice cold beer, tip your bartenders well, and we're coming back with professional fights, professional rules. We're gonna wind this thing down, heading to our big, very special, bare knuckle main event. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you got the man, the myth, the legend. He's on the ones and twos, bringing these funky ass beats to all of yous. Louisiana DJ, give it up for DJ LP3. At this time, I need all referees, judges, and officials back to the cage side now. I need all referees, judges, and officials back to the cage side now. Having a good time here at AKA. It's time to get on back to your seats. We about to light the fires and smoke the tires one more time here at the Paragon. Man, I don't know what's going on back here, but they wildin' out, baby. That's what it's all about here at American Combat Alliance. All right, folks, time to get back to the action. Up next, we've got 5 rounds of championship amateur action coming your way. This bout will be for the AKA Amateur Bantamweight Championship. And now, please welcome your first fighter to the cage. Put your hands together for Brandon Taylor.
And Colton McElhaney. I jumped the gun a minute ago telling you about this fight, but the time has arrived. Brandon B.T. Taylor comes in at 4-1 as an amateur, and he will be representing 4 Ounce Fight Club out of Houston, Texas. 5'8", 135 pounds. He's got a 71-inch reach, so the same exact reach for Taylor and McElhaney, but McElhaney will be 2 inches taller. Brandon Taylor rolling in 4-1. This is a young man with a lot of promise, Matt.
A lot of promise, a lot of skill, a lot of pizzazz to his game. Spins, turns, excellent fighter. This is one that I'm so excited about. So happy to get these guys from 4-Ounce Fight Club. Daniel Pineda's gym, got Joseph McCamish in his corner, got the Fury champ, Alden Kohea. He is a flyweight, though he looks like a dang featherweight right now. Big boy. And I love this gym. I love these guys. Such a complete skill set from this place. These guys know how to prepare for a fight, know how to work out of bad positions, and I can promise you there is not one spot that the fight can take place in which my boy is not competent. And I'm so happy to finally get to this title fight. Both of these guys, title worthy, title contenders, and can't wait to see how it plays out.
Well, 3 straight wins for Brandon Taylor earned him this title fight here tonight at AKA 44. He rolls in on that 3-fight win streak, 1 knockout and a couple of unanimous decisions in the book for Brandon Taylor. Now he'll take on Colton McElhaney with a championship on the line.
Word on the street, this guy's a problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent to the cage. Put your hands together for Colton McElhaney.
A somewhat meteoric rise, I would say, for Colton McElhaney. He is a young man that has showed up and showed out the 2 times that we've had him at AKA events. He'll be representing Revive MMA and Jiu-Jitsu out of Vidor, Texas by way of Southlake, Texas. Again, he checks in at 5'10", 135. We had him at AKA 33, unanimous decision victory over Tristan Bollier. Came back at AKA 42 and had a first-round RNC victory over Otto Kaifas, and now he'll be back in there searching for another win inside the AKA the AKA cage, I should say. And this is a guy that comes in with the style and the skill, Matt.
Absolutely. You know, obviously a character with the cowboy hat and the tattoos, but what stands out so much to me is his size. This is a big man for 135 pounds. I don't care where you go, who you've seen. This guy is as big as any of them I've ever seen fight in the bantamweight division. And I think that's going to be somewhat of a problem tonight for Brandon Taylor. If anything offers a problem, it'll be the pure mass of Colton McElhaney. I think your description of him having a meteoric rise couldn't be closer to the truth. I mean, the young man has just come out, continually gotten it done again and again. Every time he's walked out here, too, I thought that he was facing a tough test, and he's made quick, easy work out of him. Very, very interested to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, that win over Otto in his last fight was just incredibly impressive stuff. Round 1, RNC.
Just took the wind out of his sails, and Otto, a stud in his own right.
Yeah, came in, took care of business, and now time to get to business tonight.
Here we go, fight fans. 5 rounds of championship mixed martial arts action coming your way right now. This fight is being brought to you by our good friends at Bentley's Automotive right here in Marksville. And now, introducing your first fighter, fighting in the Bayou Rams blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, coming to you tonight with an amateur record of 4 wins and only 1 defeat. He is representing the 4-Ounce Fight Club, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds, fighting out of Houston, Texas. Here is Brandon Taylor. And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the EMD red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, coming to you tonight with an amateur record of 4 wins and only 1 defeat. He is representing Revive MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Vidor, Texas, by way of Sour Lake, Texas, here is Colton McElhaney.
Still a little ways from the 4th of July, but I have a feeling there's about to be some fireworks at the Paragon.
Let's go. We're due for one, baby.
Gold is on the line between Taylor and McElhaney, scheduled for 5 rounds. McElhaney with a
shot from way out.
Way out there.
Nice snapping lead leg from BT.
Mhaney snaps one back out there himself, dealt with by Taylor. Taylor doing a good job staying out of range so far.
Such a good understanding of his range and his distance. BT just at the end of everything.
He's just seeing everything coming right now.
T finds its mark, yep. Low kick right after that.
Trying to change levels. Decent sprawl here by Taylor.
Seems as if Colton is wanting to get this fight to the ground. He's just not taking his time setting it up. Shooting from a little too far out, BT on the case.
Yeah, and you're not going to be able to take down a guy like Brandon Taylor from that far out. Too well trained, and he showed it right there with that sprawl. They did both exchange jabs a moment ago. There's a strong kick from Taylor. McElhaney answers.
Another low kick finds its mark. BT checks the kick that comes back.
And that hurts, man. When you get one of those kicks that are checked, that can certainly hurt you.
Little swiping hammer fist from Colton McElhaney. Little blood trickling from the eye of Colton. Body kick finds its mark.
Yeah, good kick to the body from Taylor. McElhaney had a switch to southpaw for just a moment. Now we'll get some clinch game up against the cage.
Good head position here from Colton. Doing a good job of controlling the posture of Brandon Taylor. Colton really wants to get this fight to the ground.
Yeah, you can see that's been his game plan from the jump, but Brandon Taylor has dealt with everything so far, and once again finds himself back in the center of the cage on his feet.
Just doing everything correct as Colton enters and even is able to get a little momentum going. BT with a big right hand finds its mark.
Followed it up with a kick as well, and again deals with the takedown attempt from McElhaney. Inside 30 seconds to go in this opening round. McElhaney looking for a single leg.
This isn't a bad attempt here. McElhaney's head positioning not perfect. He scores the takedown. Beautiful stuff.
Now he's going to end up inside the guard here.
Colton McElhaney trying to get busy here inside the guard. Brandon Taylor doing a good job of keeping him tied up and stifling the offense.
Well, McElhaney had a big moment at the end there with that takedown, but it was Brandon Taylor who fended off about 4 or 5 takedown attempts and landed the bigger shots early on in the round. Great showing through the first 90% of that fight by Brandon Taylor. Final 10 seconds belonging to McElhaney, though.
Agreed. I think the biggest moment of the fight was definitely that big right hand that Brandon Taylor was able to turn over on McElhaney, but no doubt about it, both these guys are, this is a title-worthy fight. McElhaney able to score that takedown. Maybe not the best technique there, but it gets it done, gets in his guard, and is able to kind of stifle the round there at the end, makes it a much closer round.
Yeah, he did bring it back there at the end. I don't know if it's going to be enough to sway that round in favor of Colton McElhaney, but a good first round nonetheless for both of the fighters. And again, we're going 5 rounds this time. This is a 5-round fight with a championship belt on the line.
These 3-minute rounds just go so fast.
Indeed they do. Back to the action here in round number 2. We've had every single fight so far here tonight at AKA 44 finish before we made it to the end. No decisions on deck. Got a stoppage here. I'm guessing it was a low blow. And Maziol in there as your referee. And back to the action, says Bam Bam.
2 glove touch attempts, both missed.
McElhaney trying to shoot him, but he was really high right there.
Little high. BT doing a good job of finding those underhooks and keeping himself upright. Good hook cross finds its mark. These are some better exchanges. Good right hand kind of knocks Brandon Taylor up back off his balance a little bit. Checking a lot of those calf kicks. He's really seeing it.
Yeah, one of the things I was about to say, Taylor's landing his calf kicks and he's checking McElhaney's calf kicks. That's certainly been one thing that stood out to me. 1 minute has ticked away here in round number 2. Another calf kick.
Sweeping left hook followed by a right kick up to the head, attempted. Beautiful low kick by BT.
Taylor's just got his eyes wide open. He's seeing everything coming his way right now.
Balanced and good control of his range.
Mhaney going back orthodox, shooting once again. Underhook there for Brandon Taylor, and once again he fights off a takedown attempt.
Big low kick. Those are going to add up.
And he followed it up that time. That was a beautiful sequence.
I think that leg is somewhat compromised. But after that low kick finds its mark, Colton Mhaney has his best moment of the fight.
Yeah, he's got the leg once again. Taylor lets go of the head or the neck, and McElhaney's going to end up in half guard.
Good gamesmanship there by Colton Mhaney. Definitely getting his leg eaten up a little bit and says, you know what, let's not do this stand-up stuff anymore. I'm going to come score this takedown.
Second takedown of the fight for Colton Mhaney.
Colton using a can opener, trying to get the guard open there. BT once again just doing a good job defensively. Not really, oh, good triangle attempt here.
Yep. He's got it thrown up. Let's see if he's able to lock it up.
Colton Mhaney needs to find his posture here. If he keeps his head low, he'll give Brandon Taylor an opportunity to find this triangle finish. Colton doing a good job, though, of keeping his shoulders wide, not letting the triangle bite completely down. That's a better,
tighter.
That's a better triangle attempt there. Still not in a perfect position.
I don't think he's going to be able to finish this one in the next 10 seconds. McElhaney's going to be able to pop his head out. And
pops his head out, almost passes the guard. Brandon Taylor able to reestablish half guard. Good hammer fist there from Colton Mhaney.
Inside 10 seconds to go in round number 2. Great moments at the end of this second round for Colton Mhaney. But you mentioned it, ate a couple of big calf kicks. Look, there was one sequence, it was calf kick, right hand, calf kick, and all three of them landed, and right after that is whenever it felt like McElhaney was desperate, I would say, for a takedown, but he got it, Matt.
Was able to score the takedown right here, runs the single leg. Just able to put BT on his butt, pass all the way to half guard. But yeah, Brandon Taylor really putting in work with that low kick, and they're finding their mark, and they're super clean, and they're eating that leg up. Colton Mhaney has to be aware of that. He needs to either check it or step on it. Can't be in between, can't get caught at the end of another of those low kicks, because I truly feel that Colton Mhaney's lead leg is a little compromised.
We saw him switch southpaw very briefly. I don't know how comfortable he is fighting southpaw, but you can see it from here. There's a huge welt on the back of that knee, I would say, really more than anything. For Colton Mhaney, he has been getting that lead leg chewed up, and he does come out in a southpaw stance.
Lead hand hammer fist kind of worked there.
Ooh,
big
guys.
Right hook. This is better work from Colton, fighting from the southpaw stance. I think it's taken a second for Brandon to read it.
Brandon's going to switch to southpaw as well, and now he's going to attack that lead leg.
Might as well.
Teep right up the middle. Taylor's kicks have been so crisp the entire night.
They just snap off, and you know they're doing damage.
He says, all right, you're going to go southpaw. I'll hurt that right leg. Now back on the left leg as McElhaney switches orthodox. And there it is once again. Taylor just staying out of range of anything very dangerous. As we mentioned pre-fight, both guys had the exact same reach. McElhaney is 2 inches taller, but he is getting that lead leg chewed up. Both legs have taken damage.
How do you deal with a taller opponent? You chop him down like a tree.
Take 2 inches off his legs, making the same height as you.
I am interested to know what the judges' scorecards look like. Obviously, it's been pretty back and forth as far as scoring positions go, but it's painstakingly obvious every time Brandon Taylor lands a strike, really has something on it.
Couple of excuse me, fists to the side of the head there for Taylor. A couple more as well. And he works his way back to his feet.
Colton got to be careful, just kind of standing up, not in a very fundamental way. Got to stand up in base, keep yourself protected. Big low kick again.
Oh, that's a big
top.
right hand. Followed up with the left. McElhaney looks injured.
McElhaney is tough as they come, though. No quit in him, just waiting forward.
Continues to come forward. 30 seconds to go here in round number 3, but that lead leg is taking serious damage.
Able to score that takedown there again. I mean, last 30 seconds of the round, Brandon Taylor doing such good work.
I think that one just surprised him a little bit.
Sure.
It was a little bit lazy and a shot from outside, but it worked out that time for McElhaney. And once again, at the end of the round, he's going to end up on top and inside the guard of Brandon Taylor.
Looks like McElhaney's really bleeding. I'm not sure from where. Looks like from the nose. Flips up another triangle attempt here.
I don't think he's going to have enough time to complete this one either. And we're going to be headed to a 4th round. It'll be the first time for either of these fighters that they have headed into championship round territory. And we have a championship fight on our hands here at AKA 44. Matt, it was another round that was almost the same thing. When they're in the center of the octagon, Brandon Taylor's dominating this fight. He's quicker. You can tell he has the better weapons on the feet, but McElhaney able to come up with another takedown late.
Yeah, you got shout out to McElhaney for just being tough and not giving up and just fighting tooth and nail to try to get it done. He needs a little more though in this round. In my eyes, yeah, Brandon Taylor just so dynamic. I think that kick flipped up and hit him in the forehead, and that's what caused the cut.
And then that left hand that followed up really looked like it stunned McElhaney. Tough as nails, though, is Colton McElhaney still standing in there.
What a stud.
And up off the stool, ready to go for round number 4.
You got to know, these are the types of fights that shape these guys' futures as well. No matter the outcome here, Colton McElhaney definitely getting better. I think Brandon Taylor definitely in control of this fight thus far.
Yes.
Both guys bringing the best out of each other.
It was a good jab to open up the round from Brandon Taylor, and then he was back out of range as McElhaney fired a shot.
Those low kicks are just so devastating.
I think McElhaney's just going to have to tough it out because that lead leg is certainly chewed up.
Tough it out, he can do.
Another stiff jab.
Again, scoring that takedown, just almost shooting so far out, kind of throwing Brandon Taylor off a little bit. Head on the mat, he's tired.
Let's see if Taylor can take advantage. McElhaney's given a lot here. And Taylor landed one big shot.
Knee to the body, that hurt Colton.
That did not feel good. Taylor dropping bombs now.
This might be the beginning of the end for this one.
It certainly could be. We've had 7 finishes tonight. Do we have another one on the way? Brandon Taylor trying to find the finishing moments. McElhaney hasn't offered up much here.
Looks like Bam Bam's close to stepping in on this one.
That's a big shot. A couple more of those, and this one's going to be over, Matt. There it is.
That's the fight.
I think that's a good stoppage. McElhaney ate some big shots. He's clearly gassed as well. Bleeding from the nose, it makes it that much tougher to, get your wind back, get that second wind, especially when you're dealing with a guy like Brandon Taylor, who is now your AKA amateur bantamweight champion, and he gets it done with a finish in round number 4. What a showing by Brandon Taylor.
What a showing by Brandon Taylor. Absolute toughness from Colton McElhaney. You know he'll be back. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful work. Brandon Taylor just so dynamic. Everything he lands just with meaning. Smooth. It's calculated.
And it's not just that he was landing the shots. He dealt with so many takedown attempts early on, some great sprawls. You could see he's a complete fighter. He's got everything in the tool bag. And there's a great effort on the other side from Colton McElhaney. But McElhaney maybe a little bit overmatched against a very, very talented Brandon Taylor.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee is calling a stoppage to the action. At 1 minute, 17 seconds in round number 4, declaring the winner and new AKA Amateur Bantamweight Champion, Brandon B.T. Taylor.
So there you have it, Brandon Taylor, now your amateur bantamweight champion. Gets it done in the 4th round. That's 8 fights. That's 8 finishes. What a job by our matchmaker, Matt Schnell, giving us some bangers here tonight at AKA 44. You got to be feeling pretty good about this card, Matt.
You know, I've never been in a position where I was hoping for a decision, but I kind of find myself here. Nothing but a bunch of bangers, bunch of great finishes. Definitely happy. You know, yesterday I made a video about us watching, like, telling people, like, listen, these are tomorrow's stars. I think when you look at Brandon Taylor, you are looking at a star of tomorrow, a guy from a great gym, a full, complete skill set, dynamic. What a stud, what a champion, beautiful performance. And I'm sure Colton Mhaney will come back with a vengeance.
Oh, indeed he will. Look, this is not to take anything away from McElhaney. He was game here tonight. Had some good moments, too. Showed off his, the takedowns, but he really couldn't find anything on the feet. Every single time, Taylor was out of range. And then I think once he got, McElhaney had the lead leg compromised, he was just in too deep of waters to deal with everything that Brandon Taylor had to offer. And in the end, it is Brandon Taylor who will have the belt wrapped around his waist as he walks out of here tonight from the Paragon Casino and Resort.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a couple more recognitions here. Where you going, pretty lady? Come here, come here, come here, come on. Old Dynamite don't bite too damn hard. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to a very special person. She is the owner, CEO, president, and founder of AKA, American Combat Alliance. She has clawed her way to the top in a male-dominated industry to bring you this fantastic product and these fantastic fights you have witnessed tonight. And hell, she even found me. Ladies and gentlemen, the boss lady herself, Miss Amber Bishop. We got one more very special person I'd like to recognize cage side. Folks, she is here from the Oklahoma State Athletic Commission. She is representing the Peoria tribe in Miami, Oklahoma. Very special guest judge with us here this evening, the lovely Miss Tanya Matthews. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Like John Cena says, the champ is here. Ladies and gentlemen, the current reigning and defending, AKA 125-pound champion. He will defend that belt April 12th at the Live Casino in Shreveport. Let's give it up for Ferrier. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Up next will be your co-main event of the evening. 5 rounds of professional mixed martial arts action inside the AKA Featherweight division. And this fight will be for the American Combat Alliance Featherweight Championship. At this time, please welcome your first fighter to the cage. Put your hands together for Blake Anthony.
Can you turn it off or not?
We are done with amateur fights. We turn now to the pro side. 2 fights remaining, our co-main and main event, and we will welcome Blake Anthony to the cage. Blake Anthony 3-0 now as a professional fighter, and he'll be looking to get some gold here tonight. He's representing Port City MMA out of Mobile, Alabama, 5'9", 145 pounds. And this is a guy that has some serious talent, Matt Schnell.
Absolutely serious talent, a guy that can really strike, full skill set, comes from a great club over there, Port City Martial Arts. My boy Jimmy Mills always hooking it up with great fighters. You know when he brings a couple guys to town, they're going to be studs. Blake Anthony, no different. Jimmy told me he's had Blake since he was a teenager, and he's just watched this kid grow and develop. And every fight, he just looks better and better. Brock Weaver in his corner, UFC vet. This is a kid with a complete skill set, strong, good base underneath him, excellent striker. I've been told he has a fan-friendly type of style, and I look forward to him showcasing it tonight.
Well, I'm sure the fans at the Paragon are just as excited as we are for this one. And we got a legend hanging out with us. We got Michael Boyer hanging out with us tonight. Hey, you having some fun, Michael?
I'm on mute.
You're not on mute. We can hear you. You having some fun over here?
Be on mute, bro.
I know. This is a guy that shows up to the best sporting events around, and tonight he's right here at the Paragon Casino. What a card so far.
Oh, thank y'all for having me. I just want to better represent Lake Charles.
We're going to come back to Lake Charles here for too long, too.
Certainly be a couple of days for Lake Charles and McNeese University as they got their first ever NCAA tournament win. But it's not about that right now. It's about what we got in front of us as a championship is about to be decided between Blake Anthony and Braxton King.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent to the ring. Put your hands together for Braxton King.
Here comes Braxton King.
I'm going to be biased on this fight.
This will be an incredible showing, and Braxton King coming off 3 straight armbar victories, something we could see here tonight. It's one of the areas that we've heard that Blake Anthony has struggled in, but 3 straight victories via armbar for Braxton King. He rolls into this fight 4-2 as a professional. He's representing Performance Evolution. Gracie Barr out of Lake Charles. He checks in 5'11", 145, representing Opelousas, Louisiana, and Lake Charles, Louisiana as well. Braxton King, Matt Schnell.
Braxton King, a young man who every time he comes out here, he impresses me with his ability off of his back. I don't think he wants to play that game too much, though. It does seem to be something that's affected Blake Anthony in the past. He has only 1 loss on his record, and it was by armbar as an amateur. So just something to look for, but Braxton King, a young man with a full skill set. I feel like he's huge for this weight class, long, lengthy. We've not gotten to see his full skill set play out within the AKA cage. We've seen a lot of his open guard, and a great open guard it is. But I think tonight he's going to have to pull out some different tools. And from what I understand, he has all the tools necessary. His gym, his guys, they believe in him. His coaches, his friends, his family, they're here for him.
Braxton King, very devout in his faith. He wears it not only on his sleeve, but on his shorts, and he'll be looking to represent here tonight. But the biggest moment for Braxton King and Blake Anthony about to happen underneath the lights at the Paragon Casino and Resort.
I just want to return you a statement. Want you to say this when the world loving you. All had to do with you. Who's in more danger? The persecuted or the comfortable? Give us a clip.
Here we go, fight fans. 5 rounds of professional mixed martial arts action, and this will be for the AKA Featherweight Championship. This fight is being brought to you by Mammoth Coolers. And now, introducing your first fighter, fighting out of the Bayou Raps blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, coming to you tonight with a professional record of 3 wins, and never has he tasted defeat. He is representing Port City MMA and Brock Weaver Boxing. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Mobile, Alabama. Here he is, Blake Anthony. And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the EMT red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, coming to you tonight with a professional record of 4 wins and 2 defeats. He is representing the Performance Evolution Fight Team at Gracie Baja of Lake Charles. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Opelousas, Louisiana, by way of Lake Charles, here is Braxton.
Well, we've got some serious life here inside the Paragon Casino and Resort for this one. Gold is on the line. Here we go, round number 1. We saw some real swag from Anthony in the introductions there. And you said it, Matt, he's a very exciting fighter. Looking to see what he can put on display here against Braxton King.
Braxton on his bounce a little bit, switching stances from southpaw to orthodox. Flips up a little side kick there into the solar plexus of Blake Anthony.
Kind of showing off some karate.
Oblique kicks. I think that's a good move just to try to disrupt the base of Blake Anthony a little bit.
Braxton flipping that kick out there once again.
Low hands from Braxton King. Need him to be careful here as he gets close to the fence and doesn't have anywhere to bail to.
Ate a kick to the body a moment ago from Blake Anthony.
Blake Anthony being patient, just trying to bide his time a little bit. A lot of activity from Braxton. The kick lands.
We haven't always seen Braxton so active in his stance, but he's certainly showing it off tonight.
This is kind of the not so secretive secret that everybody at Performance Evolution raves about the type of striker that Braxton King is. Me personally, I've just never got to see it play out, so it's hard for me to know. But he's looking the part tonight.
Well, we know he's got great game off his back. 3 straight armbar finishes. He has 4 armbar finishes in total. He had a couple.
Ooh, big right hand finds its mark.
As an amateur, but he just caught a big right hand from Blake Anthony. And a good calf kick from Anthony as well. King staying out of range. Got to be careful up against this cage, though. If Blake Anthony gets him cornered.
I just feel like he's kind of fighting with a long style as he's backing up too close to the fence, and that's exactly what Blake Anthony wants. Keep those hands low. Keep popping back and forth. But once you get close to that fence, you've got nowhere to go.
Braxton thought about throwing up a spinning kick. Deleted it midair.
I'd like to see a little more hand work from Braxton King. Get those hands moving first. Oh, big punch.
Left.
Drops Braxton King. He's in trouble here.
Blake Anthony
says, get back up.
Anthony just playing games. So you saw right there, Braxton was going to pull guard. Anthony wasn't going to let it happen.
Braxton definitely wanting to get him in his guard and try to tangle him in that web.
I mean, if I ate a left hand like that, I'd be trying to pull guard as well. That was a big shot from Blake Anthony that dropped Braxton King, but Braxton has weathered the storm. You can see one thing from Anthony. He did not want to get on the ground there with King. He wants to keep this on the feet. Over halfway through round number 1. We are now into our professional portion of the card, so 5 5-minute rounds on deck here for this championship bout. You can see Anthony, he's almost a little annoyed with Braxton King. He wants to engage with him a little bit.
I think if Blake would feint a little bit, work his way in, a big right hand finds its mark one more time. And again, Braxton just making the mistake of fighting as if he's at distance when he's not. Pulling his head back there and gets his head popped back like a Pez dispenser.
Did eat a big shot right there. Just over 1 minute to go in round number 1. Another left hand from Blake Anthony. You can hear the corner for Braxton King saying no, no, no. He was about to just go guns a-blazing into the fire. Nice right hand from King. Big looping right, misses its mark.
I don't mind that looping right hand. He just needs to keep his feet underneath him as he does it. We have to recognize what range we're at. As if we're in close range, those hands have to be in a better position. We can't play this karate style as the distance gets closed, as we get close to the fence. This is where Blake Anthony's having most of his success, is as Braxton backs up.
Final 15 seconds of round number 1. Been a good showing here in the early going for Blake Anthony. Round 1 is in the books, and more than likely it is on the books for Blake Anthony.
Yeah, I got to think Blake Anthony had the better moments. That was kind of one of the good moments right there that Braxton had. Flipped that head kick around and kind of scooted around Blake Anthony's guard a little bit. But Blake just the more grounded fighter, understanding the range a little better. Right there, that nice right hand found its mark. And I think for Braxton, he needs to get back to that oblique kick. If he's going to play the range, he needs to do so from the center of the cage. He can't be backed up on the wall. He runs out of real estate, and that's when he gets caught with the bigger shots, just like that.
No, it's a great analysis there from the UFC's very own Matt Schnell. Ready for round number 2. And, you know, Matt, one thing that we've seen before with Braxton, he'll be behind in fights, and he'll find a way.
That is the truth.
We saw it as an amateur. We thought, you know, he was behind on the scorecards, and he pulled it out in the 3rd round a couple of times. So this is a guy that you have to put away yourself because he's always dangerous.
That's just heart and you know, his faith, and he believes in himself, and that's why Braxton King is in title contention.
No doubt. Oh, that's another left hand from Blake Anthony. And he's going to let King back up.
Blake Anthony just being smart, too. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to come down and toil in your guard. If I drop you, get yourself back up and let me see if I can do it again.
No, and I think that's just high IQ stuff here from Blake Anthony. He knows he's got the advantage here on the feet. You know, King hasn't offered up too much so far that's dangerous, but you don't want to get down there on the ground with him.
That's kind of one of the things that works against you with this hopping style. You're never completely grounded, and a guy that is secure in his stance can deliver a shot. And even just then when Braxton got dropped, I don't know if it was as much the concussiveness of the punch as it was his feet not being underneath him.
And it's one of those things you can almost time up too, right?
So big, heavy shots from Blake Anthony there.
Blake's looking for the finish here. This is where he gets Braxton into real trouble.
Again, Braxton just making mistakes here, acting like he's fighting at range when our back's on the cage. We have to get our hands up in those positions. I like the style. I like the karate stuff, but we're kind of in a smaller cage here. We really can't utilize that game as much as we would like to.
Blake Anthony
he needs to get his hands in a better position and box a little bit.
So far, all of the boxing has been in favor of Blake Anthony. He's landed the big shots. He's dropped Braxton King a couple of times. And he's certainly had the bigger moments. That was a good oblique kick. Braxton kind of stepped into that one. Blake Anthony trying to tee off here. Braxton King could be in trouble. Nice knee up the middle. Another.
Braxton King pointing at the ground.
Yeah, Braxton's ready to throw, but Blake Anthony out of range of every single one of those shots thrown his way.
Sharp jabs from Blake Anthony. He's really settling in here.
And he's starting to see everything as he blocks that kick by Braxton King. Decent punch there from Braxton. It's one thing we haven't really seen too much of from Braxton, attacking that lead leg, but there it is. It may be one place that he has to go in this fight, Matt.
Braxton having a decent moment there, was able to land a decent low kick of his for himself, and then as Blake Anthony returns one, he's able to check it. We need more of that. Little oblique kick from Blake Anthony says, my man, you got one, I got one too.
Yeah, that's now 2 on the board for Blake Anthony. 3. You don't see it too often, but certainly Blake Anthony having some success with it here in round number 2. Nice feint, and then came over the top of the left.
Little hip feint, showed him a kick. I tell you what, that lead leg does get close from time to time. It flips up there nicely. We need more work like that from Braxton King.
I will give Anthony some credit, though. Every single time he's getting that right hand up and he's ready for it.
Just in good fundamental position.
Yep.
Hands high. Fights by the books. As you can tell, Braxton, a little more of a traditional martial art influence here. Bouncing up and down. Looking for a little karate blitz right there, but as he does it, he eats a left hand for his troubles.
Yes, stiff left hand from Blake Anthony. Inside 60 seconds to go in round number 2.
And just the optics for Blake Anthony, making Braxton skirt the cage. And Blake's in the center. That's some of the best work I've seen from Braxton right there, just moving forward with punches.
Yeah, first time we've really seen him push Blake Anthony back in this fight. Good moment for Braxton King here towards the end of round number 2.
The way Blake is stomping on that oblique, he's kind of reminded me of George Masvidal a little bit, just being mean.
Maybe a little John Jones. He used to do quite a bit of that as well. 15 seconds remaining. Shot to the body from Blake Franklin. If you keep Blake Anthony threw a kick up there that King was ready for.
Blake.
I know, I keep wanting to call him Blake Franklin. We had Blake Franklin on the call with us last week, or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. Another good round, though, for Blake Anthony, though, Matt. I mean, dropped Braxton King early on in that one and really seems to have this fight well in hand at the moment.
Definitely feeling comfortable out there, feeling himself a little bit. But better tune in, young man. I mean, like we've said, Braxton King been able to pull a victory out of the jaws of defeat before. And if anybody can do it, I know Braxton King can do it. Coach getting in his face a little bit, trying to tell him, hey, let's tune in here. Let's go out there and get it done.
Yeah, the Performance Evolution corner letting Braxton King know it's time. Now he's certainly down, or more than likely down 2-0 on the cards. Yeah, 5-minute rounds here, so still 3 more rounds to work for Braxton King. Going to need to start to turn things around here in round number 3. One thing that we do know about Braxton, he's got a gas tank. He's not one of those guys that's going to tire out on you.
Definitely not slowing down.
We'll see what Blake Anthony offers up as far as the gas tank's concerned as we creep closer to the championship rounds here at AKA 44. Another oblique kick. Braxton just bouncing around here, really offering nothing up. I'd at least like to see a jab or something, you know, let it go, and instead he elects for the head kick and gets body slammed.
Tries to jump a triangle there, and I gotta be honest, it wasn't too far off. Blake Anthony doing a good job of finding his posture, getting right back to his feet though.
Another oblique kick, and now Braxton King switches back orthodox. We've seen Braxton switch up his stance throughout the fight.
Little head feint, trying to work his way in. No dice.
No, Anthony's just seeing everything right now. I mean, he's had his eyes wide open. Everything Braxton King has thrown his way, he's been ready to deal with. He continues to stalk King around the cage.
Side kick finds its mark for Braxton. Braxton standing so bladed. I would like to see more side kicks or hook kicks. That's what the point of that stance is actually for, is to open those attacks up.
Anthony digging the toes in the body a moment ago.
Again, that left leg flipping its way up right into the guard of Blake Anthony. Good high hand position. The more fundamental fighter is kind of getting the better of it right now. But these things are close. Another oblique stomp.
I mean, he's just adding them up now as Blake Anthony. We saw Braxton King attempt a couple early. It's been all Blake Anthony in the oblique kick department, and there's a left hand. Lead left lands for Blake Anthony.
Sharp jab from Blake Anthony, snaps the head back of Braxton King.
The corner for Braxton King saying it's time, Braxton. He does have to start to mount some kind of offensive production here. He just walked into that. Blake Anthony not going to the ground at all. He'll have none of that. And it's just smart by Blake Anthony. There's no reason to go down there when you're in control. You know, Matt, I don't know that I would hate seeing, oh, it's a nice right hand over the top from Braxton King. I wouldn't hate seeing Braxton maybe try and pull guard again, as crazy as that sounds. I mean,
oblique kick buckles the leg of Braxton King. Those are adding up. Straight right hand finds its mark. Braxton trickling a little blood out of his mouth.
Inside 90 seconds to go in round number 3. Another oblique kick.
Braxton just beat by alignment. He's standing so bladed. That oblique is just there to be stomped on.
And
Blake Anthony.
It has been.
Yeah. Heavy punches there from both men. Jab
Nice
finds its
jab.
mark.
Stiff jab from Blake Anthony, follows it up with a calf kick. And that'll make Braxton King switch to southpaw.
I also wouldn't mind seeing, like, Braxton take a shot, change it up a little bit. How about a level change, something?
Sure, something.
He's kind of.
Another oblique kick. That oblique is going to be hurting tomorrow. But it's not about tomorrow, it's about tonight. Can Braxton King find a way to steal the belt away from Blake Anthony, who's well ahead in this fight right now?
Blake Anthony just being clever, just fighting his fight.
High IQ, not making any mistakes out there. Great defense, too.
Just hands in a good spot, even when Braxton's able to amount a little bit of offense. Blake doing a good job, keeping his hands in a good position. Most of the shots skating off of his defense.
3 rounds in the books, and another strong round by Blake Anthony. One would think that he is ahead 3-0 right now on the scorecard. And here's a replay from our guy Sam, producer-director tonight. Doing a great job with our replays. Big thank you to everyone that does production here for American Combat Alliance. And right there, Matt, he just kind of walked into that one, too. That was a little bit more of a stumble. Caught the left hand, was off balance with Braxton. He went down.
But again, like we were talking about, it's just not having our feet underneath us as we're gauging those attacks. There's that oblique kick that buckled the leg of Braxton King. And he's had some good moments, but just a little too loosey-goosey with his stance and his positioning.
Does he come out right here? Let's see.
We have hit the championship rounds of our co-main event here at AKA 44. Blake Anthony, Braxton King. Oh, that was a dirty oblique kick.
Little level change there from Braxton. I would have liked to have seen that a little bit earlier, just to get Blake to think about something different.
Got to show him something, put something in his mind that is, going to be dangerous. Right now, Braxton King has offered up not very much on the feet. Nice kick.
Neither opponent looks tired either.
No, both guys really have a good gas tank. Michael Boyer hanging out with us here, cage side for this co-main event. That's a good right hand. I think it may have found its way around the guard and clipped the ear.
Hooked across. Oh, heavy punches.
Those were some big shots. Braxton King still standing,
Now
throwing
these guys
back
are
himself.
mixing it up.
Oh, spinning back fist in there as well. Just missed the mark. Talk about a fight on hand now. Braxton King willing to stand and bang with Blake Anthony, and the fans at the Paragon getting their money's worth. That brought him back to life. Another oblique kick. And at least one good thing here for Braxton, he does sense the urgency. You can see it. He's willing to throw those shots to try and equalize this fight.
Yeah, you can tell he's not sitting in a place of delusion. He's well aware that he's behind.
I honestly think it's okay that he's behind.
We've seen him in this position before.
He's ready to turn up. Let's see.
He certainly is trying to turn up here in round number 4, but so far Blake Anthony's just been game for everything being thrown his way. Braxton nearly got a hold of that leg. And you can see pure urgency from Blake Anthony whenever those situations develop. He does not want to deal with them.
Kind of high stepping out the position.
Yeah. Maybe high stepping his way to a championship belt here in just a moment, halfway through round number 4. His corner telling him that it's time to sling it. Performance Evolution trying to push Braxton King forward. Inside, calf kick lands. Shot to the body from Blake Anthony. Blake Anthony trying to stay undefeated as a professional.
One of the best punches Braxton's landed this fight right there in that exchange.
Eats a 1-2 combo from Blake Anthony that time. Anthony starting to talk to Braxton King out there a little bit. Just over 60 seconds remaining, approaching the final round of this 5-round championship fight. Again, though, the defense is there for Blake Anthony, and then a left hand at the end of that exchange. .40 seconds remaining. Anthony has stood in the center of the cage most of this fight and has pushed Braxton King back.
The last solid exchange Braxton had was pushing that straight left out and trying to bring that left leg right behind it. It came close. I would like to see more of that. Again, we just have to diversify our attacks a little bit. We've kind of fallen into the same patterns over and over again here.
Probably the best round so far, though, I would say, for Braxton King.
3-1?
Yeah, I would say 3-1, maybe 4-0, though still. Blake Anthony had some moments, and that might be something that could make it 4-0 Blake Anthony, but certainly the best round we've seen so far from Braxton King, Matt.
Agreed.
And we've reached the moments of desperation here for Braxton King. You're at best down 3-1, at best more than likely 4-0. I have it 4-0 in my book. And you can see, I mean, they're trying to get Braxton fired up. I got a feeling he's about to go out on a shield and throw everything he has out there. You can see there in our picture-in-picture, a really cool moment from Braxton King in his corner, trying to get him rallied up for this final 5 minutes against Blake Anthony. But Blake Anthony has just been too calm, too cool, too collected out there, and he has just dealt with everything.
Just fighting behind his fundamentals, you know. Fighting's not knucklehead stuff. The guys that are the best at it are the guys who kind of stick to the plan.
Here we go, final 5.
Keep their hands in a good high position, fire straight punches.
I'm curious to see.
Braxton's round, right?
Yeah, it has to be Braxton's round. He's certainly behind on the scorecards. He'll need a finish. They're having a conversation out there in the middle of the cage right now. And if you're Blake Anthony, obviously you know you're ahead here. You just want to continue to be solid fundamentally, defensively, and hold on to this thing through 5. Braxton's just got to go. It doesn't really matter what you're throwing up. I think he's just got to go here.
Little flashy spin kick from Braxton. That's just not what we need right now. We need to land something substantial.
They threw a right hand over the top that may have partially landed.
It's good work there from Braxton King.
I'd have liked to see more of that early on. But now he's in.
Or submission
He's got to. And I don't think Blake Anthony's going to let this go to the ground. It's one thing we've seen.
Big punches land for Blake Anthony as he wades his way in.
Maybe a knockout going the other direction as Blake Anthony's landing some big shots.
He's not going to let you go to the ground, is he?
No, if Braxton King wants to win this fight, it's going to have to be a surprising.
Another right hand finds its mark again. Left hand, right hand.
Let's go.
Oh, Braxton drops him. Holy cow.
Braxton King lands a shot that could equalize this fight. He's still got a lot of work to do, though. What an exchange between Blake Anthony and Braxton King.
Blake Anthony just for a second kind of losing his composure.
Yeah, he got
biting
caught up in
down.
that.
Yeah, biting down. And we saw it a little bit. Maybe it was the last round of the round before. Third round where he kind of bit down a little bit, got a little wild, and let things get away from him. Braxton able to capitalize for a second, but we need much more.
Early on in that exchange, Blake Anthony cracked him hard, and I think he saw a finish, tried to go for it, couldn't get it, and ultimately he was the one that got knocked down there.
Landed a couple of good straight rights followed by left hooks. I think it was a straight left that sat him down. Braxton just finding his moment.
Halfway through this final round, AKA gold on the line. Can Braxton King find a magical moment in the final 230? Oh, stiff jab.
Snapped him.
That high kick, he's tried it a lot of times, but I'll tell you what, Blake Anthony has been ready for it every time. Oh, biggest kick landed of the fight for Anthony. 2 minutes to go. Braxton King's going to have to let everything hang out here over the final 120 seconds. His corner calling out desperately for him to go forward. Easier said than done with Blake Anthony standing in front of you.
Two jabs.
Yeah, just touched him up right there at the end. 90 seconds. Every single fight so far today has not made it to a decision. This one, about a minute away from that now. Blake Anthony beating on his chest there. Braxton King misses with a couple shots.
Straight right hand to the body from Blake Anthony.
Braxton's corner saying, go, 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 desperately calling it out. Blake Anthony ready for an exchange, it appears.
48 seconds remaining.
Final 45.
Flips a high kick up.
Oh.
Big punches from Blake Anthony, swinging them.
Blake Anthony looking for a big moment himself. We've got a fight on our hands here. Final 30 seconds. Again, great defense by Blake Anthony. Braxton's he's got to let it all hang out here. Everything has to be thrown at Blake Anthony. Anthony doing a good job there, just staying out of range. Final 10 seconds. Spinning kick at the end for an exclamation point. And Blake Anthony will have his hand raised momentarily as your new AKA Featherweight champion of the professional ranks. Great stuff by Blake Anthony. I mean, from start to finish, he was so fundamental, Matt.
Great performance by Blake Anthony, just sticking to the process, fighting behind his jab, trying to find his cross, staying in his stance.
Nice.
There was the exchange where he got dropped. It was a wild exchange. Braxton King able to find his moment.
Them boys are throwing right there.
Just a little too late for Braxton King. He had some good moments. The young man has a bright future, certainly had showcased some skills. I've been wanting to see Braxton striking. We got to see a lot of it tonight. Great stuff, great fight by these boys.
Yeah, great fight for both guys. Blake Anthony got the Mobile, Alabama crowd with him over there, giving him some big cheers.
Cheers to Blake Anthony, man. That was a great fight.
Great fight, and credit to Braxton. Look, Anthony is a hell of a fighter. He put together a great performance. Braxton was game the entire time, went toe-to-toe with him. It ultimately goes the distance, and we will now await Dynamite, who has your result in hand. He's got the microphone, and he's headed into the cage.
Knocked Braxton down many times and let him right back up. I mean, what a sport.
What a great fight between these two. Let's find out who's about to walk out with the gold.
Paragon Casino, get off your ass and on your feet. Give both of these warriors a round of applause.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, all three judges have seen this bout the same way. Therefore, declaring your winner by unanimous decision. Fighting in the blue corner, Blake Anthony. Blake is your new AKA Featherweight champion.
Nice moment between the guys, a little sportsmanship. It's hard to trade paint with another man for 25 minutes and not come out of it with a modicum of respect. Great performance by Blake Anthony. The champ is here.
The champ is indeed here, and it was really a masterful performance by Blake Anthony. He was in control the whole time, knocked Braxton down, I think 3 times early on, never went to the mat with him. High IQ stuff, fundamentally sound the entire time.
He's got something he wants to say. Let's be quick.
Hey man, I might not have that belt tonight, yo. But I damn sure had a war, man, and I love this, man. I'll shout out to Blake, man. Hey, when I lose, man, Jesus is king. Glory be to God.
All right, folks, I'm standing here with your winner, Mr. Blake Anthony, the new AKA Featherweight champion. Blake, how's it feel to have that strap, baby?
Feels fucking great, man. Louisiana, what do you do? Hey, man, I just want to say, I did not expect that out of Mr. King. That boy came to fight. Probably one of the hardest fights I ever had in my life. I didn't see nothing like that on film, so I'm like, damn, who the fuck brought this dog out here today? Hey, but I respect it, and hopefully we can win it back here. But shout out to my family who drove 5 hours from Mobile, baby. I love y'all. I love y'all. Happy Mardi Gras, baby.
All right, folks, let's give it up one more time for your new AKA Featherweight champion, Blake Anthony.
Our first fight of the night to go the distance, and we had to wait until our co-main event for that to happen, but ultimately Blake Anthony's going to walk out of here tonight, your new AKA Featherweight champion, and well deserved after that performance. Time now for something new, something we have never done at AKA. It's bare knuckle boxing between David Bosnick and Michael Murphy. Your main event of AKA 44 has arrived.
And don't forget the after party goes down inside of Club Ms. Zaz, following our big main event coming up next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's your last chance to get up and have a little fun with Dynamite. So here's what I want to do. As we get hyped up for this big main event, I want to find out who's ready, who's locked, cocked, and ready to rock for some bare knuckle boxing. So what I'm going to do, old Dynamite's going to start off with the ladies and ladies only. Now, ladies, if you're looking good, feeling good, got your hair done, and you having a good time, let me hear you on the count of 3, ladies. 1, 2, 3. All right, not too bad. Now, fellas, if you're looking buff, feeling rough, and you know you got the stuff, let me hear you on the count of 3, fellas. You ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is all come down to this. Up next will be your AKA 44 main event of the evening. It is scheduled for 2-minute rounds of bare knuckle boxing inside the AKA welterweight division. This fight being brought to you by EMD. And now, please welcome your first fighter to the cage. Put your hands together for Michael Murphy.
Main event time and new territory for American Combat Alliance, as we'll be having our first ever bare knuckle boxing matchup between Michael Murder Murphy and David the Boss Bosnick. It'll be Michael Murphy making his way down to the cage first. He is a boxer representing War Training Center, standing in at 6 feet tall, 170 pounds. He will have a 2-inch reach advantage in this fight, and he is out of Longview, Texas. Michael Murder Murphy coming in off a victory, a unanimous decision victory over David Armas. And things change a little bit here, Matt. I mean, we're going into bare knuckle boxing now.
This is a completely different dynamic, and I honestly can't think of two gentlemen who are more primed for such a fight. These two guys, Michael Murder Murphy, I mean, no better nickname for this guy.
No,
what a killer, stone cold, just a dude that's going to go out there. You know every time he makes the walk, he's going to put on a banger. And same thing for David Bosnick. I mean, I am so pumped for this fight. I have no idea what's going to happen, but what I know for sure, violence guaranteed.
And now, Paragon Casino. Put your hands together for his opponent. Here is David Bosnick.
Certainly going to be one of the fan favorites here in Marksville, Louisiana. It's David the Boss Bosnick, representing Global Fitness Center out of Alexandria, Louisiana. He checks in at 5'10", 170. And again, as I mentioned moments ago, he will have a 2-inch reach disadvantage. This is a guy that does nothing but win. He's rolling in on a, 6-fight win streak. He did have a draw in bare knuckle boxing, but this is a guy, Matt, he's got boxing experience, he's got MMA experience, he now has bare knuckle boxing experience. He has, I think, 2 fights underneath his belt. He went toe-to-toe with Lauren Thibodeau in one of those. And that's one thing that David has in this fight is the experience in bare knuckle boxing.
I agree, and you know, going back to what we said before, both these guys definitely primed for this type of fight. But Michael Murphy, a different type of fighter than David Bosnick. David, very slick, can really box, knows how to understands the art of boxing, and I think that type of fight behooves him better. I think the last thing he wants to do is come in and try to meet Michael Murphy in the teeth and just get into a brawl with him. I truly believe that David Bosnick needs to come out here and box a little bit, and it's a difficult thing to do when you're bare knuckle.
Ladies and gentlemen, American Combat Alliance, in association with the Paragon Casino Resort, are proud to bring to you your AK-44 main event of the evening. 5 2-minute rounds of bare knuckle boxing inside the AKA welterweight division. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children children of all ages, it's go time! And now, introducing your first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a boxer representing the War Training Center. He stands 6 feet even, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Longview, Texas, here is Michael Murder Murphy. And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the EMD red corner. This man is a boxer representing the Global Fitness Academy. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Alexandria, Louisiana, here is the boss, David Bosnick.
It all comes down to this here at AKA 44, our first ever bare knuckle boxing matchup between David Bosnick and Michael Murphy. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but a lot of times in bare knuckle they have a smaller ring, so this will be a little bit more area for these two guys to work with.
For sure.
Right into the action.
They kind of do a thing in BKFC where they put their foot on the line and they just go straight forward. But again, like I was talking about in the beginning, I think it behooves David Bosnick to box a little bit rather than run straight in and just try to take Michael Murphy out.
Well, we've seen Bosnick plenty of times here on AKA cards. He's incredibly quick and slick. I'm sure that'll be on display here tonight.
Being evasive, using his footwork, big looping left hook. Michael Murphy just trying to measure with that lead hand. You can tell he's ready to let that right hand rip.
You know, we're coming off those 5-minute rounds. We're now down to 2-minute rounds. And when you've got a 2-minute round, that's a lot less time for you to make an impact. Ooh. Bosnick just out of range of that one. You always want to be out of range of somebody with the nickname Murder.
That's the truth.
Michael Murder Murphy, properly nicknamed. And
a little bit of grappling there. That's okay.
they'll break that up pretty quickly. Bosnick looking forward with that jab to the body.
Right hand finds its mark for David Bosnick.
Bosnick just shelling up and weathering the storm as Murphy lets it fly.
Right hand once again finds its mark.
Yeah, that was one of the better shots landed so far in this fight. Good right hand from David Bosnick.
They've been doing a good job of not getting goaded into a brawl right there. Michael Murphy finding a little success of his own.
Inside 10 seconds to go in this opening round. Pretty close first round. 5 2-minute rounds on deck for your main event. Pretty even first round, a lot of feeling out process there for both guys. I'd say maybe the best shot landed was from David Bosnick, that right hand, but maybe the overall body of work in favor of Michael Murphy. He let a little bit more fly.
Certainly let a little more fly. Didn't find as many clean shots. David making some stuff miss. Had that nice clean right hand, but yeah, Michael Murphy definitely having a little success in there, catching a couple looping left hooks behind the ear of Bosnick. You gotta think these guys are gonna feel each other out a little bit with so much at risk, and I just can't even imagine. I've never been in a position, well, I mean, back in the backyard, we've had some bare knuckles flying at us before, but not by a fellow professional.
No doubt about it. That was back in the day, though. All right, here we go. Ready for round number 2.
I can't even wrap my head around this.
I mean, you've seen some of the knockouts where guys just let their first punch fly and they get knocked out immediately in bare knuckle. It is certainly
lunging a little bit with that jab, getting a little close here. You can see they've kind of primed up a little bit. They're ready to let it rock now. Good jab by Michael Murphy. Check hook finds its mark.
And Bosnick got clipped underneath that left eye. He was squinting for a moment. one thing about these bare knuckles, you will get gashed open. That's certainly something you see a lot of times, is blood leaking everywhere.
Bone to bone, baby.
Good moment for David Bosnick as he pushes back Murphy.
It's a good feint from Murphy. Got a reaction from David Bosnick. Wasn't able to capitalize.
And now you can see that damage on the left eye that I was mentioning a moment ago for David Bosnick.
Good jabs from Michael Murphy. This is good for him. He needs to work behind that jab, try to set up his hard punches. Little swiping left hook finds its mark. Bosnick able to hit him with a cheeky right hook of his own.
Murphy looking for a big shot. Bosnick ducks under it.
Bosnick now fighting from the southpaw stance. Good head movement from David Bosnick,
and
eyes open.
That's what we're really accustomed to seeing from David Bosnick. Great head movement, slick stuff.
Slip and rip right there.
Inside 30 seconds to go in round number 2. Bosnick with a deep breath.
Another sharp jab from Michael Murphy. Low hand position from David Bosnick.
What a shot. 10 seconds to go. That left hand right on the jaw and just kind of paralyzed David Bosnick. Slowly fell down to his knees. Certainly had his bell rung there. And the bell will ring there. The biggest shot of the fight so far, no doubt about it. And a shot that'll put that round in the book for Michael Murphy. I mean, it happened right at the end of the round. Not a lot of time left to recover here for David Bosnick. I mean, there it is once again, Matt, right on the jaw.
David doing good work, just kind of hanging his hands a little low there. Swooping left hook just right on the button. Stuns Bosnick for a little bit. Has to take a knee.
Michael Murphy out there pressing buttons. Drop David Bosnick to his knees. Bosnick looks to be okay in the corner. He does have some blood leaking from under that left eye, maybe right on the corner of the eye. Ready to go with round number 3. But a great moment there for Michael Murphy, Matt.
Agreed.
So definitely one round in the books for Michael Murphy. That first round very close, could have gone either way.
See if David Bosnick changes his tactics a little bit, hangs those hands a little higher this time around.
Coming out southpaw.
I imagine it is difficult to not headhunt with bare knuckles. You know, we've not seen one punch go to the body just yet.
That's the thing, you know you're always just one big shot away from finishing the fight in bare knuckle.
Michael Murphy just doing a good job of staying behind that lead hand, keeping his range.
He's been out of range of all the big shots from Bosnick. Some of those looping shots have been unable to find the mark for David.
Bosnick rolls the hook there. Michael Murphy persistent with that jab. Ooh, big.
Good right hand from David Bosnick. Murphy fires back one of his own, but it's off the mark. Halfway through round number 3. This would technically be the halfway point of your fight.
First punch to the body right there.
And it was wide open, and he landed it flush.
Michael Murphy once again poking that liver.
Murphy starting to add things together here in round number 3.
Straight right hand.
Right on the button. That backs David Bosnick up. And it made a lit of fire underneath Bosnick as he comes flying in with some punches.
Nice body work there from Michael Murphy.
Those are thudding, too. You can hear them with those bare knuckles. Another thing to point out, Matt, you don't have those gloves. When you're bringing up your guard, there's a lot more area for guys to hit. It can easily slip behind that bare hand. Another good body shot as an exclamation point in round number 3. I mean, that one's got to be in Michael Murphy's you know, on his side as well. 3 or 4 great body shots. He had a good right hand in there as well, Matt.
Yeah, I think it was the body work that really paid dividends that time. Just changing levels, working the body, opened up a couple of the strikes to the head. Michael Murphy, again, going back to kind of the theme of the night, just being a little more fundamental, sticking behind his jab. There is no doubt David Bosnick, so talented, so capable of moving his feet and being evasive. But thus far, Michael Murphy kind of accumulating a little bit of momentum here.
Well, you just mentioned when he's moving his feet, he's elusive. When he's kind of set in his stance and right in front of Michael Murphy, Murphy's been able to get it going. And whenever the body's been open, he's been able to capitalize as well. Moving forward to round number 4. One would think it's 2-1 Murphy, maybe 3-0 Murphy. Certainly 2 in the books in the last 2 rounds, though. But in bare knuckle, you're always one big shot away from ending the fight.
That's the truth. Sharp jab there from David Bosnick. Big overhand right.
There he is, going back to the body. Bosnick good with the guard up top, but eats a couple body shots. Right back to it is Murphy.
David doing a good job here, seeing everything, picking off most of these shots. I would like to see him counter, though.
We really haven't seen as much offense from David
Looked like
Bosnick.
Michael Murphy was about to knee him in the head there for a second. I don't blame him.
Matt, we just really haven't seen Bosnick get it going like he normally does. And a lot of that reason is because Michael Murphy has been super game through the first 3.5 rounds.
I think the main difference is Michael is really not over-committing to his punches. He's throwing them nice and sharp. And he knows that you don't have to land with a lot of oomph for it to hurt. He just has to land.
Well, right now he's landing to the body, and Bosnick really hasn't offered up much in return.
David doing a better job this round defensively. Oh, that right hand. We need just a little more of that from David Bosnick.
8 to left there at the end of the exchange. 30 seconds to go. Murphy just out of the way of that left hand from Bosnick.
Bosnick needs something big here as the round expires. Though he's picked off most of these shots,
it's bad optics, though.
Yeah, Michael Murphy definitely been busier.
No doubt about that. And the body shots, I would say, have to count for something. And here's a good finish to this 4th round for Michael Murphy. He's just more active. And even though he's not landing everything, I think the optics of that, without Bosnick throwing much back, it's certainly got to be in favor of Murphy.
Yeah, I don't mind what Bosnick's doing, just being a little more defensively sound, but we just have to get in between a little more, have a little more offensive output, show some counters, deliver something that changes the trajectory of this fight.
Yeah, and you're right. You've got to change the trajectory. Look, at this point, it's going to take a big shot from David Bosnick to get back in this one. He's down 3-1 at best, and you're going to have to dig deep right now if you're David Bosnick. So this will be our final 2 minutes of AKA 44. We had our first 8 fights of the night that all finished inside the distance. Our last one went to decision, and we're 2 minutes away from our main event going to a decision as well. But as we've mentioned, in bare knuckle, we're always just one shot away from the lights being turned out. And you got to think Bosnick's kind of in that desperation point here entering the final round.
Yeah, Bosnick really needs to make something happen. He's actually getting really good corner work from whoever this gentleman is behind us. I have to agree, it's because he's biting down so hard trying to take him out with one shot, making it a little bit harder for him to find his range.
And, you know, one thing we've seen from David in the past, it's punches and bunches, right?
Yep.
Things really add up for him. He wears down other fighters.
I think it's an easy thing to fall into, to get head hunting. We're bare knuckle boxing, you know. We get hit by bare knucks. We want to come back and deliver them with a little more urgency.
Well,
big right hand.
There's some urgency from Bosnick. He's just throwing wild at this point, searching for something that could finish this fight.
These are hard punches. They're just a little too loopy.
and it's just something we're not really used to seeing from Bosnick too much. Final minute of this fight on hand.
Stumbled him back there just a little bit.
Yeah, David's trying to find that opening. But Michael Murphy continues to be game. You know, I'd kind of like to see Murphy go back to the body. He had a lot of success there the last 2 rounds.
It's kind of that body work that really changed this fight up.
Yep, indeed it was. Bit of a slip from David Bosnick. Went down to 1 knee. Final 20 seconds. It's been another very close round. There's a right hand to the body. Bosnick looking for one at the buzzer. He's not gonna find it though, and we are gonna go the distance. David Bosnick and Michael Murphy go 5 rounds of bare knuckle boxing action, and they will leave it up to the judges' scorecards. I'll be shocked, Matt, if Michael Murphy doesn't have his hand raised at the end of this when he had the knockdown. The middle 3 rounds felt like Murphy did his best work. 1 and 5 probably up for debate, but those middle 3, Murphy did some really good things.
I'd have to agree. Good stuff from both guys. You know, both guys had moments, but again, I think the main difference was Michael Murphy just not trying to swing to end him, just making connection, solid connection with every punch that he threw. Stayed behind his jab a little bit. Really had a good night.
Indeed he did, and especially for that being his first time doing bare knuckle. You know, obviously if you're a boxer, it does come a little bit more natural to you when you've been boxing, which that's been certainly a big part of Michael Murphy's training. But it's a little bit different when you get in there bare knuckles for the very first time, and Michael Murphy showing up and showing out here against David Bosnick. So we will let the judges tally up their scorecards. They have put them in the hand of Dynamite. Dynamite has the microphone, and he's ready to deliver our final decision of the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of hooking and jabbing, we are going to the judges' scorecard. Ladies and gentlemen, all 3 judges have seen and scored this bout the same way. Therefore, declaring your winner by unanimous decision. Fighting in the blue corner, Michael Murphy.
So there you have it. Michael Murphy gets the decision victory, unanimous decision win over David Bosnick to close out AKA 44. Just a really sound performance by Michael Murphy, Matt.
Yeah, agreed, and couldn't agree more with the decision. I thought Bosnick had some good moments, but Michael Murphy just able to stay behind his jab, keep things a little more grounded, and ultimately gets the nod. Beautiful work by Michael Murphy. And I gotta be honest, I'd like to get Michael Murphy in the MMA cage. I think he'd be a great addition to our lightweight division.
What a great card though here tonight. I mean, the fans got to see 8 finishes. They got 2 high-level co-main and main event fights. I mean, it really and truly
now,
was
ladies
a
and
great
gentlemen,
night here
if
tonight.
you see this big hunk of man right here walking around, folks, I want to introduce you to this man. He is part of the Paragon Casino staff. He wants you all to take pictures with their belt. He wants you to come join the fun. Ladies and gentlemen, a public speaker, a motivational speaker, a former United States Marine. Give it up one time for Bam Bam the Butcher, Mr. Lonnie Bridges. We need Travis Bordalon to the cage, please. Travis Bordalon, come to the cage now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to give out the award for Knockout of the Night. The winner to receive a 30-quart Mammoth Cooler. Put your hands together and show your love for Travis Bordalon. Winner of the AKA 44 Knockout of the Night.
Brock Purdy doesn't need a cooler.
On behalf of the Paragon Casino and the entire staff here at American Combat Alliance, my name is Dynamite, saying thank you all so much for coming out. God bless you and good night. I'll see you at Club Me Zaz.
Ready to wrap things up here, cage side. Matt, you were the mastermind behind tonight's card. Give us your overall thoughts.
Yeah, you know, honestly thought that we would see a couple closer fights than we did. I was a little worried, so many finishes, but I think we ended it on a good streak there. Both of the co-main and main event both delivered. The Bantamweight title fight was a banger, as I anticipated it would be. So, yeah, we just live and learn. We'll keep on putting these things together, keep giving these guys an opportunity to come out here and showcase their skill. All I want is to see this sport continue to grow in this state for these guys to realize their dreams, and I think it starts right here, right now.
Well, you're helping these guys realize their dreams, and I'll tell you what, I know all the fans here tonight had a great time. When you get a chance to see 8 finishes as a fan, that's electric stuff. Ready to wrap things up from the Paragon Casino and Resort for the UFC's very own Matt Danger Snell. I'm Tyler Not So Dangerous Moody. We'll see you for AKA 45.